inside throw, touchdown! Kansas City, a 3-yard touchdown pass in overtime. Kansas City wins the game.
Welcome into The Drive with Carrington Harrison.
Back-to-back best sports talk hosts as voted on in the Pitch magazine.
Live from the Van Studios. Here's CDOT.
Let's do this. Another day, another dollar, another edition of The Drive. You are listening to The Drive on 96.5 The Fan, 96.5thefan.com, and also the Odyssey app. My name is Carrington Harrison. Excited, thrilled, delighted to be here with you guys on this wonderful, wonderful Monday. Look at the weather outside. Spring is here. I hope that you guys had a great weekend. I had a great weekend. I will tell you guys about it. I went to the Kentucky Derby this past weekend. I will tell you guys my experiences at going to the Run for the Roses. Rob is here as well. We are taking you up until 5:30 today, where we hand things off to the Kansas City Royals. That's where we are going to begin today's show. But Rob, how are you doing, my man?
I'm good, man. Good to see you. It's been a while. You were out at Churchill Downs having a great time, wearing suits, wearing hats, hobnobbing with Aaron Rodgers and co. I assume I was stranded back here in Kansas City, so I'm good, but you had a better weekend than me.
Rob, I'm a little disappointed because I saw the video that I was tagged in from the station, and you didn't really come to my defense. I mean, I caught a lot of strays from a lot of people that work here at the station. I was expecting when I watched the video that my guy Rob was going to have my back. You knew how important this was to me. Didn't see you make an appearance in the video, which also goes to confirm more and more that you're the op. I don't know why you're the op. I consider you one of my dear friends. We're more than just co-workers. You've met my family. I've met your family. We have broken bread together. I don't know why I am your biggest op. It doesn't make any sense to me. You didn't have my back when I was taking some slanderous allegations from our fellow coworkers, but it's okay. I'm here. I survived.
I was going to go ahead and throw Kramer under the bus. Kramer came to me and goes, "Hey, do you know what Carrington's fit looks like?" And I'm like, "Yeah, he's been talking to me about it all week." He goes, "Cool. Don't need you in the video," and walked away. I'm going to volunteer for extra work? Come on now. We both know I'm not doing that.
That's terrible. You know what I do, though? I need you guys to do me a couple of favors. Number one, I need you listening to The Drive each day at 2 o'clock right here on 96.5 The Fan. And number two, I need you to tell one friend. I don't even need you to tell one friend to listen to the show. I need you to be a good friend to one person. Just one person. Rob is not a good friend to me. I want you to be that good friend to somebody else. Be the friend that you would want. I would really appreciate that. I want to read a tweet to you guys from a couple of weeks ago from Rainey Gisarelli, who is a very informed, very smart Royals fan. He tweeted this back on April 19th. For the 19th time in the last 22 years, the Royals have lost 6 games in a row in the first 60 games of the season. And in 16 of those 19 years, it happened by game 35. This is a team that not too long ago they didn't look dead in the water, but this looked like a Royals team that we had seen plenty of times before. This Royals team was 8-14 and couldn't hit a lick. This is a team that looked like it was potentially drowning. And we said there at that moment, we were at an early fork in the road. You could play the wait and see game, or you could press the panic button. It is obvious what the Royals have done. Since that tweet from Rainey Gisarelli, since the Royals went 8-14, they are now 19-16, and they have lost 2 games since then. They have quite honestly been one of the hottest and best teams in baseball since they basically lost for an entire week straight. This is how I would like to begin the show, and it's something that we talk about, I would say, pretty regularly on the show. For whatever reason, the Royals don't get the same benefit of the doubt that other local teams get. I mean, I understand why the Chiefs get the immense benefit of the doubt. They're the best team in the National Football League. They're a Super Bowl championship caliber team with the best football player in the world and the best football coach in the world. I understand why people don't overreact to the Chiefs. Kansas gets a large measure of benefit of the doubt, and it makes sense. They have been maybe the best college basketball program in the last 20 years, certainly in the conversation. I feel like K-State football gets the benefit of the doubt. Eli Drinkwitz and Mizzou All of these other programs and entity get a benefit of the doubt when they hit rocky times. It's not like that with the Royals. People are usually ready to pounce on the Royals. People are usually ready to throw the Royals away. And 95% of the time, you're right. Whenever the Royals got off to an 8-14 start and their offense looked as lifeless as the Royals did for the first 2 weeks of the season, 3 weeks of the season, you are certainly right and justified to find other ways to entertain yourself. You are justified in not going out to the ballpark. They're not putting a quality enough product on the field for you to take your kids and buy them a hot dog and do all of those things. I get it. I'm on your side 95% of the time. But if you were one of the people that pressed the panic button and jumped off of the bandwagon with the Royals in the first 3 weeks of the season, it is safe to say you were wrong and you should have been more patient. The conversation right now about the Royals is they are heading into this series against the Chicago White Sox, a team that they have absolutely beat around for the last year and a half, should be a story of resilience, should be a story of, well, maybe we were a little bit premature to be really tough on this team early, that you're going to have highs and lows throughout the course of a baseball season, and their low just started the year. But for a team now for about 2 weeks has played red hot baseball, and since that long losing streak have only lost 2 games and have won 4 consecutive series, it's time to give the Royals their applause. It's time to give the Royals a great job, phenomenal job by you guys. You guys have played incredible baseball, and now you are looking at a team that is getting back Cole Reagans today. I mean, you got Reagans, Lugo, Waka, and Bubic going up against the Chicago White Sox. This is another series that you believe you should win and continue that momentum with the Boston Red Sox coming into town this weekend. So I wanted to start today's show with all of us, this is not me pointing the finger, we are all very premature to kick the Royals when they are down. Now I think you got to at least bend down and lend a hand and give them credit for picking themselves up. We have seen a lot of baseball seasons go left by what this season looked like. A team that couldn't score, a team that looked like it was completely off track, and a team that got off to an incredibly slow start. And since that moment, they have been on fire. And they have taken advantage of a schedule that all of us looked at and said, you can take advantage of that. All of the hypotheticals and the potential games that we played and the baseball games that we played on paper, well, they got played out in real life. The Royals dominated the Colorado Rockies. They won a series against the Houston Astros. They went on the road and swept the Tampa Bay Rays, and they just took 2 or 3 from Baltimore. They might own the Orioles as much as they own the White Sox. The Orioles stink, and I got the numbers to prove it. Vinny is turning things around. Salvador Perez is turning things around. Maikel Garcia has been on fire for the last couple of weeks or so. I just want us, as the Royals are coming back to town, just to step back a little bit and give the Royals a little bit of a round of applause for how they've played the last couple of weeks. They got a long, lengthy homestand this week. And if you're able, I would make it a point to try to go out there. I'm going out there tomorrow and Friday to watch the Royals. I would just encourage you, if you have the time, because I know you're busy. I know graduation season's right around the corner. I would just encourage you to potentially go out there and see one of the hottest teams in baseball who are in town this week. And right now you can get tickets for $3 on StubHub if you want to go out there and see the boys in blue. Enough of me, more of Rob. Hit it, Rob.
We're where you want to be. Baseball with the Royals. If you want to
Okay, today's Rated Royals lineup takes us back to the year 2017, where the Royals on this date beat the Cleveland then Indians 3-1 to move to 10-18. I do not remember 2017 starting this bad for the boys in blue. Here was your Random Royals lineup. Leading off at second base, Whit Merrifield. Batting second, and at third base, Mike Moustakas.
Moose.
Batting third in center field, Lorenzo Cain. Batting fourth, the first baseman, Eric Hosmer.
Yeah, I don't know why this team was bad. What went wrong?
Yeah, I don't know either. Batting fifth, the catcher, Salvador Perez.
Yeah, this is just the 2014 Royals with Whit Merrifield. This team should have won the World Series.
Batting sixth in left field, Alex Gordon.
This is when Gordon started going a little left here.
Yeah. Batting seventh in right field, Jorge Bonifacio.
Okay. The picture's starting to get more clear now.
Batting eighth, the designated hitter, Brandon Moss.
I forgot Brandon Moss ever played for the Royals. Like, I knew he played for the Royals, but I forgot he played for the Royals.
And batting ninth, the shortstop, Alcides Escobar.
You know what? There's normally an indication of when the Royals were good and bad, and it's where Alcides Escobar hits in the lineup. If he's hitting first, that's usually a good time for the Royals. If he's hitting seventh, eighth, or ninth, things ain't going well for the Royals.
By the way, on this date, the Royals got a win after 6 strong innings from Jason Hamill.
Well, that also explains why things went awry that year.
Joaquin Soria got a hold, and Kelvin Herrera got the save as the Royals beat Cleveland on this date 3-1. Again, to move to 2-10-18.
Goodness gracious! I mean, that's like when a movie series just keeps going too long. That's when the Royals were like the Saw series. You got to think of 14 and 15 or like Saw 1 and 2. I mean, incredible movies. And then we kept going. It's like, I don't know, man. Like, how is Jigsaw still alive? He's been chopping people up now for 7 straight movies. I thought he had cancer. How is he still alive? That's what the Royals were like in 17 and 18. They were like Saw 5 and 6. They were like that Saw that had Chris Rock, Spiral. That's what they were like. All right.
I forgot about that Chris Rock movie.
It came out during COVID. Any movie that came out during COVID, that wasn't a real movie. That time never happened. Coming up on the other side, I will tell you guys my first story from going to the Kentucky Derby, and we'll also continue to talk about the Royals that have only lost 2 games in the last 2.5 weeks. The Royals are on fire. Keep it right here. It's The Drive.
The Drive with Carrington Harrison
This man was a bona fide scrub.
on 96.5 The Fan. Brought to you by DM Injury Law. Have you or a loved one been in a car wreck? Contact DM Injury Law today and get the money you deserve. Car wreck? Remember, Mike's got this.
As America's leading business lender, Bank of America is on your corner and in your corner, right here in Kansas City. With $215 billion in business loans and over 3,700 business specialists across the nation, we help businesses thrive so communities prosper. What would you like the power to do? Learn more at bankofamerica.com/local business. Bank of America, official bank of FIFA Club World Cup 2025. Copyright 2025 Bank of America Corporation, all rights reserved.
Cosentino's food stores are celebrating 77 years of serving Kansas City. Come in today for incredible anniversary savings across the store. You'll find some of the hottest prices of the year, now through May 20th only. From fresh produce to family favorites, don't miss the unbeatable prices at every Cosentino's location. For 77 years, it's been our family's honor to serve yours, and we're just getting started.
Call Aspen Lawn and Pest Control. Our iconic blue trucks and expert team get it right the first time. Award-winning full-service lawn care and pest control since 1985. Call today for a free estimate. Visit aspenlawn.com.
Harrah's Kansas City Casino is giving away $700 every 7 minutes from 10 a.m. to 10 p.m. on Saturday, May 10th. And at 10:01 p.m., one lucky guest will win $7,000. With over $77,000 in prizes, there are so many ways to win. Only at Harrah's Kansas City. 21 or older to gamble. Know when to stop before you start. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER.
Honey, it's me, your wife. Spring is here, and our house desperately needs the experts at Powell Exteriors Casey for siding, windows, entry doors, beautiful decks, patio covers, roofs, and more. Get ready for summer at powellcasey.com.
Guys, don't waste your time and money with low-quality online TRT that charges you over $100 just to start. Visit our TRT experts today at the Low T Center for a free consultation and free test. Treatment is personalized to your body, and most major insurance is accepted with the freedom to choose if you want in-center care or at-home treatment. You're in control of your health. Looking to lose weight? Get a free B12 shot when you start your prescription treatment. Offer limited. Look now at fixmylowt.com. That's fixmylowt.com.
We all hear the radio ads about the IRS. They tell you to be afraid, to be scared, and they try to frighten you into calling. I'm not here to do that. Tax Relief Advocates is different. TRA is here to tell you that if you owe money to the IRS, whether it's $5,000, $50,000, or $500,000, we have a solution. It doesn't matter if you're sitting in your car, at work, or with your kids. No matter where you are, call now. 800-575-6812. Don't lose hope. TRA can eliminate or reduce what you owe to the IRS.
Generous programs are now available that can give you a fresh start.
Our passion is taxes and helping individuals fix their IRS problems.
We have over 1,000 5-star reviews on Google and an A+ with the Better Business Bureau.
You don't need to be afraid of the IRS any longer. End your tax nightmare today by visiting us online at TRA.com
or call 800-575-6812. That's 800-575-6812.
Tax Relief Advocates. Real solutions for real people.
This is the story of the one. As a lineman, he does whatever it takes to keep the power on in his community. And he wants a partner like Grainger who does the same. Grainger offers the professional-grade products he needs, from voltage detectors to harnesses to hard hats, plus fast, dependable delivery, so he can rise to every challenge. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
You ever try fixing your car and realize you're missing that one part? Yeah, been there. That's why eBay's my go-to. They've got millions of parts, guaranteed to fit. I'm talking brake pads for when yours have seen one too many miles of stop and go. Oil filters, cause you don't mess around with your engine care. Even got this cold air intake on my watch list. I might just go for it. To keep the ride cool and your DIY streak hot. Find all the parts you need at prices you'll love. Guaranteed to fit every time. eBay. Things people love. Eligible items only. Exclusions apply.
You know how you always want to know about everyone else's money? On the podcast, What We Spend, guests will, for 1 week, tell us everything they spend their money on.
My son slammed $6 worth of blueberries in 5 minutes.
And everything that makes them feel.
I want to own a house. I want to have a child. But this morning, I really wanted a coffee.
Because at the end of the day, money is always about more than your balance. Listen to and follow What We Spend, an Odyssey original podcast. Available now wherever you get your podcasts.
You're listening to 96.5 The Fan from the Mission Plumbing, Heating, and Cooling Studios.
Hey, Kansas City, it's Bobby Witt Jr. Welcome into The Drive with Carrington Harrison on your home for Royals baseball, 96.5 The Fan.
I don't know why we do this with the Royals, and maybe this is a small group of people, so I don't want to spend a whole lot of time on this one particular thought or idea. I just want to read it to you. Text line 913-586-7965. C-Dot, you're right. The Royals have had a nice turnaround, but I still need to see it against the upper tier teams. Why would be my question. Why? I guess with the Royals. At this point, I think we all know what the Royals are. And I would say that's pretty good. I can't think of too many times in my lifetime, and I imagine in your lifetime too, that the Royals have been pretty consistently in this place. You know what the Royals are? They are a B student. They're not an A student like their big brother, the Kansas City Chiefs. I mean, the Chiefs are going to Harvard, Stanford. They got a perfect score on the SATs. They can go to whatever college they want to. No question. You know what the Royals are? They're just a nice B student. You know what? You got a little bit of money to go to K-State. You got a good degree. You got a good job. They're just solid. You live a good, comfortable life. Your brother is more successful than you are, and maybe your parents will always compare your success to theirs. And you're like, hey, I feel like I did all right for myself. I don't know if we need to see the Royals do it against top-tier teams because I think we know the Royals aren't as good as those teams. And I'm not here to be Debbie Downer about the Royals. I think we've seen enough Royals baseball over the last year and a half to kind of tell you what they are. They're a team that could win somewhere between 85 to 90 games, and they will likely lose to a team that when they lose in the postseason would say, oh, that team was just better than they were. Now, I think what makes it exciting about the Royals And it's the same feeling that you had last year. Their pitching will give them a chance against anybody. If their pitching continues to stay healthy, and it has been, relatively speaking, for the last year, year and a half or so, the only question with the Royals continues to be, can they score enough? As you've seen, when they score enough, like they are right now, they're really, really hard to beat. Their pitching, their starting pitching has been this way pretty consistently now for a year and a half. And now they have a better bullpen to go with that rotation. This is one of the best staffs that the Royals as an organization have ever built from top to bottom. I mean, from every 5 days, who you have starting for this team, to if your starter can only go 5 1/3, how you bridge that to get to the heart of your bullpen. This is one of the most complete Royals rotations and bullpens that we've ever seen before. That's the hope. But if you're expecting to see if the Royals are going to be better than the Yankees, I'm here to tell you, you are probably going to be disappointed at the end of the season. I'm happy with what the Royals are. And maybe that is me settling a little bit. But if you've been cheering for the Royals or you've lived in Kansas City, you know the Royals very rarely have been this kind of organization and this kind of team. They've either gone to the World Series or been irrelevant. Every Royals game matters. They have a chance to make the playoffs for consecutive seasons. That hasn't happened a whole lot. So I don't really want to spend a whole lot of time wondering about what the Royals should be or why they aren't one of those premier teams and celebrating what they are. For about 5 years, every time somebody in the front office spoke about the Royals, they kept telling you, hey, it's coming. It's on the way. Have you ever gone to a restaurant and you're sitting there and your waiter keeps telling you when the food's going to be there and eventually you start to get hangry? Hold on, you just told me 20 minutes ago that it was coming right up. The food's right in front of us now. They told us, well, hey, I don't know, 2020 could be the year. Well, 2021 could be the year. They kept moving back the when we should be good date. They finally have arrived at they're good, they're competitive. They're a team that you want to buy a ticket to. They're a team that you want to buy FanDuel Sports Network. They're a team that you want to turn on the radio for. I'm happy. That's enough for me. I'm thrilled with what the Royals are. Sure, could the Royals be better? Absolutely, they could be a better team. But we use the football analogy. The Royals have never just been a 10-7 football team, ever. Not consistently, not in our life. If you've been cheering for this team, they were good in 2003, and then they weren't good again until 2014. You know how long that is? I'm thrilled. I'm fired up about what they are.
Maybe it's because Kansas City fans, because the Chiefs' success have become jaded and they live in a black and white world of it's pass, fail, championship, or bust. But there is a value in getting to the postseason, and the Royals last year won a postseason series. And right now, just doing the math, based on what their record is, they will finish with a better record this year if they stay on this pace than they did last season. There is a value in that. It is not championship or bust. The Chiefs are like the only team that operate that way. Not only in the area, but maybe in the world. It's like the Dodgers and the Chiefs. Everyone else, you should be celebrating the successes that exist. Like, the Royals were competitive in all 4 games of the Yankee series. Maybe if the ball bounces a different way twice, we're talking about a team that made the ALCS. Maybe this year they bump into the Yankees again in the DS and the ball bounces their way a couple times and you make the CS. Kind of like what happened to the 2014 Royals. But when did fans get so jaded and treat it like, well, either a World Series contender or a waste of my time? That's not how we operate in sports.
I think someone on the text line makes a really good point. CDOT, the only A student in the American League is the Yankees. Like, if you're unhappy with the Royals for whatever reason and thought they were going to take a bigger step forward, okay, I hear you. How many teams in the American League do you think are definitively better than the Royals? Because if you're saying the Yankees, sure. I agree with you. I think the Yankees are better than the Royals. I think we could find a lot of metrics that would suggest that they are better than the Royals. Are the Guardians better than the Royals? Because the Guardians have one more win than the Royals, but have a negative run differential. They have a negative run differential. I mean, Boston's not better than the Royals. Royals have more wins than Boston. They're coming into town this weekend. You can beat them straight up in a series. The Tigers, maybe. Maybe you're arguing Seattle. So, maybe, and it's still early. Like, I don't want to say we definitively know what the Royals are. there are probably 2, maybe 3 teams in the American League that you can say, that team's a little better than them. Maybe you think it's the Mariners, maybe you think it's the Tigers, the Yankees, whoever you think that it is. And then right there in that next grouping of teams, I think the Royals are right there. I think they got a shot. So I'm happy. So if you had bigger expectations, or I can't tell you what your expectations for the Royals were going to be. I thought the Royals were an 87-win team. They look like an 87-win team that got a chance to make the postseason. I'm thrilled that baseball matters here in Kansas City. I am fired up about it. All right, I will tell you guys a little bit about my experience at the Kentucky Derby. We'll kind of go back and forth because Rob said something earlier today that really hit my ear. I have always been into the Kentucky Derby. It's my Augusta. Some of you have the dream of going to the Masters, and I would go to the Masters, but it's not like my number one on the bucket list. I only really want to go to the Masters just to say that I went to the Masters. I've never filled out the lottery before. I don't play golf. I just want to say that, oh yeah, I've been to the Masters before, but I've never had that dream before. I've always wanted to go to the Kentucky Derby. And one thing I think you start to learn as you get older and you make a little bit more money. Hey, if you got the money to live the experiences that you wanted to have, you should just do it. You can't take this money with you, and the money that you get, like you work that to pay for experiences and things that you want to do. So last year, I watched the Kentucky Derby. I was in Vegas. I watched it at the Westgate Sportsbook. And if you watched last year's race, you know it was the most thrilling Kentucky Derby. Shout out to Mystic Dan. And I told myself right then and there, I'm going next year. And I started planning the entire football season to go to Louisville, Kentucky, to go to the Kentucky Derby. Rob, you know, I've been so thrilled about it for the last 6 months or so. So I went down to Todd Clozier down on Ward Parkway and got myself suited and booted. You can't go to the Derby looking regular, Rob. I couldn't go to the Derby and have Rob looking at me questionable. I had to be suited and booted. So the Kentucky Oaks, it's the Derby, but it's all girl horses. That's on Friday. So they encourage you to wear softer colors. They encourage you to wear pink for breast cancer awareness. So I wanted to wear something more springtimey on Friday and something a little darker on Saturday. So I got, did the whole shopping thing. I bought my little hat. I even walked around the office with my hat. I was thrilled up, fired up to go to the Kentucky Derby. And let me tell you, boy, did it live up to my expectations. This is the big thing that I noticed. I've been to a lot of sporting games before. Been to a bunch of them. I've been to Royals playoff games. I've been to an NBA playoff game before. I've been to an NFL playoff game before. I have been very fortunate enough to go to a lot of cool sports things. I've been to very big boxing matches before. It's very different going to a game versus an event. I imagine that's the appeal of going to the Masters. It is a very, very big deal, and every person that I've ever heard that has gone to the Masters talks about the event around it, the hospitality, how they treat you, looking at the stadium, looking at the field, whatever it is. That's how people talk about it. That's how Churchill Downs is for the Derby. Rob, when you walk in immediately, when you check your ticket, the first person you talk to offers you a mint julep. Hey, you thirsty? You want something? You want a cigar? What do you need? The moment you ain't even put your phone back in your pocket from checking your ticket. Right when you walk in there. Do you want something to drink? That's why I'm here. Yes, I do. Hand it to me. That's it. I got the all-inclusive thing. I don't got to worry about it the entire time that I'm here. Now, how they do it, Rob, is actually pretty cool. This is like maybe the best way of explaining it. It would be like if at a baseball stadium, every individual section kind of had its own area, and you can't really walk freely to the other areas. So, for example, if you were in 342 at Arrowhead, 342 has its own amenities, has its own bathrooms, has its own place to place a bet, has its own concession stand, and nobody else. So from 341, you cannot go to the 342 area to go get a drink or go to the bathroom. You have your own area to do all of those things. So we're kind of positioned in the first turn area, and lines weren't that long. Concession stand wasn't that long. You want to place a bet, you could go right there. You want to cash out because you had just won. The window is right there. It was an A1 seamless experience from start to finish. The biggest message that I have from all of this is if you are in a position that you can do it, go do the stuff that you really want to do. If you got something on your bucket list, go. If you want to go to Fenway, go. If you want to go to Wrigley, go. I'm telling you, it's amazing. And I hit on the Kentucky Derby. I was so happy. I bet on Sovereignty, Rob. I put $20 at 7-1, and it cashed. I was so thrilled. You would have thought I won the race. I mean, I did win the race, but you get the point. It was a thrilling time, Rob. Very excited. 10 out of 10 would recommend going to the Kentucky Derby. What's number one on your bucket list? Is it Augusta?
Well, I mean, World Cup is technically one, but that's going to get accomplished in about, 14 months? I'm going to go to a World Cup match. I'm going to go to a United States World Cup match. Now, it doesn't hit the same when it's like stateside, but going to a World Cup match is near the top. Augusta's near the top. I would then say, going to the Rose Bowl is probably on the list. Like the Rose Bowl, the visuals of it on New Year's Day are just spectacular. Like that's kind of list. I would like to go to the Derby, but you're obviously more excited about the Derby than I am. That's kind of the list. But all those things, albeit some of them are games, they're kind of like experiences. Like I'm not going to the Rose Bowl to watch UCLA and Cal. I'm going to the Rose Bowl to watch the Rose Bowl.
Yeah, that's kind of why I've never had the Rose Bowl very high on my list, is for that exact same reason. Like I'm just going here to just watch two random teams that I have really and just when it is in the year, like I've never had it for that reason. It's cool to watch it on television. Someone on the text line says, no disrespect, but what's the hype about a 2-minute sports race or horse race and that's it? You can go to the Kentucky Derby and never watch a horse race and have an amazing time. Honestly, like there's some parts you can't even see the track. It's just a party. It's just people eating everywhere, people drinking, people smoking cigars. You don't have to go for the horse race. And there's horse races all day. They just show the one on television, the one big race, the Derby, the one that everybody's there. There's 14 horse races on the Saturday. So every 25 minutes, there's just another horse race. So, you go up there, you place your bet, you go get something to drink, you go get something to eat, you're sitting around, you're talking to people. Next thing you know, there's just another horse race. You see if you won, and then you just repeat the process the entire day. It's a lot of fun. Now, I will say, on Saturday, 2 sports certainties happened, and I was a part of one of them. For whatever reason, it just always rains during the Kentucky Derby. I don't know why it just rains. It rained a little bit on Friday. It basically rained all day Saturday, but we were covered, so it wasn't really that bad. It just rains on Kentucky Derby Day. That is just one of those things that it just does. The other certainty that we saw was James Harden in Game 7. I don't know why it's a certainty. It is a certainty. It will rain the weekend of the Kentucky Derby every single year. They even know it's going to rain. They prepare you for the rain. They're telling you, hey, bring a poncho. They're handing you ponchos as you walk in, even when it's sunny outside, because they know it's probably going to rain at some point. James Harden is going to James Harden. I don't know Rob, I don't know if we've ever seen anyone like this before. I'm trying to think of the person. And maybe it's like Alex Rodriguez. Maybe it's Aaron Judge. Whoever it is. In the regular season, James Harden is one of the best basketball players that we have ever seen. And then something in his brain, it just shifts once the postseason gets here. Once Game 6 or Game 7 gets here, he is unusable. I saw a stat this weekend. I wrote it down. James Harden has had 54. Listen to this. He has had 54 postseason basketball games in which he has made 4 or less shots. I'm going to say that again. 54 games in which James Harden has made 4 baskets or fewer in an NBA playoff game. That is impossible for a player of his caliber. Impossible to do if you're James Harden. There are some sports certainties. It's going to rain on the day of the Kentucky Derby. It's just a sports certainty. I don't know why. It happens that way. James Harden in Game 7 is a sports certainty. That is never the side that you want to be on. You do not want to be on the same side of, oh, you know what? I think he's got it. No, he doesn't. I'm telling you, the exact opposite is going to happen. In fact, it is going to be an epic collapse. Some of you don't care about the James Harden part of this. Let me tell you this. If you KU fans haven't been keeping up with the NBA, Christian Brown has actually turned into a really, really good basketball player. I'm telling you, I know you guys just don't know what happened to him after he won the championship. He kept playing basketball. A couple of years ago, he helped the team win an NBA championship, and he kept playing basketball, and he basically shut down James Harden for 7 games in this series. Christian Brown's a really good basketball player. He's going to make like $200 million in his life playing basketball. Not bad for a kid from where he's from, Burlington, Kansas. He's done all right for himself.
The classic Burlington, Kansas to Overland Park High School pipeline, that's just how the location worked out. Northwest is known for grabbing all those Burlington kids. Everything's on the up and up there. No need to bring it up. Is the analogy for James Harden for non-NBA fans, he's Marty Schottenheimer? Because Marty Schottenheimer in Kansas City and in Cleveland did a lot of regular season winning. But if you ask any football fan, hey, what are your lasting memories of Marty Schottenheimer? It is not all those regular season wins. It's losing to Elway and losing to Elway again and losing to Elway again. And it's the drive and it's the fumble and it's in Kansas City, the Lynn Elliott game. Like the James Harden analogy, we don't have to work too hard to find it. He's just Marty Schottenheimer, right?
I don't know what he is. He's Marty Schottenheimer. He's Alex Rodriguez. It's bad. I'm here to tell you it ain't good. It ain't good is the answer to it. It is not good in any capacity. All right, Rob, I want to give this. I talked about something that I'm passionate about, getting a chance to go to the Kentucky Derby. I want to give you a chance to talk about something that you are also passionate about. I don't want you to think that this show is just my ideas and my thoughts. Rob, we're a team. I know you don't see it that we're a team, but me and you are in this. We're in this together. Rob came into work today and had a little extra bop in his step. He's like, hey, man, how was the Derby? Oh, man, it was good. I'll tell you more about it on there. He's like, okay, cool. I had a good weekend, too. I'm like, everything cool? Everything good? Yeah. Marvel's back. I was like, where do they go? So you know what I mean. Rob is so excited about this Thunderbolts movie. Rob, I want to give you the chance to talk about the #1 movie in America and why you're so excited. Because I will admit, Marvel, y'all hit a rough patch there for a while. You put out a couple of duds. You put out a couple of stinkers. You're telling me they're back.
Full back. Marvel's back, man. You know what they did? They got back to their roots. They got back to what makes them great.
Didn't they just have Captain America 2 months ago who doesn't like America?
That was
okay. I wasn't sure. That's why I was asking if that was part of being back.
We were part of. There was still a deep freeze in America. I mean, there was a Chiefs Super Bowl hangover. People don't remember that movie, and they shouldn't. It's gone. It disappeared into the ether. Thunderbolts, though, incredible. Marvel is about to go on a run here. They're about to go on one of those Allen Fieldhouse runs where you feel it coming.
Okay.
You feel like it's about to avalanche on the opponent. Thunderbolts is a hit. Go see Thunderbolts. Cannot recommend Thunderbolts highly enough.
Who are the Thunderbolts? I've never heard of these people before. Is this like the new Guardians of the Galaxy?
It's conceptual. It's basically cast-offs from Phase 1 and Phase 2 band together to create a new team. You got Black Widow's sister, you got Bucky, you got the Winter Soldier, you got Ghost. She was in Ant-Man. They basically took cast-offs from old movies and made a super team.
Here we go. All right.
But you know what? It's star-studded.
They got a bunch of 4A players.
Yeah, and they created a super team with the 4A players. That's a hit. Can't recommend highly enough. 10 of 10 would recommend. Then, later this summer, watch out. Fantastic Four is going to be a massive hit. Fantastic Four is going to hit like you.
I've heard of them before.
You might go see Fantastic Four. It's so big. So you got Thunderbolts, which are great, leading into Fantastic Four, leading into an Avengers movie. We got Avengers Doomsday, and then we got another Spider-Man coming.
Hold on.
This is the Allen Fieldhouse run that Marvel is taking us on.
I got to call a timeout because I need you to explain this to me. Wasn't the last Avengers movie called Endgame?
Correct.
So that means when it's called Endgame,
still more to happen. Game's not over.
Okay. Didn't all the characters die?
First off,
isn't that why it was called Endgame?
You haven't seen Endgame. Not everyone dies.
I don't know anything. I'm simply asking. The movie is called Endgame. I would then think that they're done, but they weren't done. They still have they have more to avenge.
More to avenge.
Who's avenging it this time? Iron Man can't be avenging it.
No, he died. There's a new wave of Avengers. We got the people from the Thunderbolts. We got new Captain America. Thor's coming back. Loki's coming back. We're getting the band back together, baby.
Okay.
And then another Spider-Man. Can't make enough of those. Just keep making them. They're hit after hit after hit. Then after that, we're looking at late 27. You got another Avengers movie coming, Secret Wars.
You know what this sounds like?
Marvel Avalanche.
Do you remember when they made American Pie? And then when they tried to bring it back, like straight to DVD releases? Remember that? And they had like American Pie Band Camp. That's what it just sounds like you're describing Avengers to me. This is the straight to DVD release Avengers. The other Avengers had like Hulk and Spider-Man and, you know, all of these characters. And so now you're telling me we're starting the Avengers all over again. We got new characters now in the Avengers. Okay, all right.
I mean, it debuted at Thunderbolts debuted at a casual $76 million. So
it's Marvel.
People are they weren't doing $76 million for Captain America and Ant-Man Quantumania. They weren't doing it then, but they're doing it now because they're back to their roots.
Good point. All right. Well, you know what? I wanted to give you time to talk about something that you're passionate about. We're both happy. I'm happy and you're happy. We both had a great weekend doing something that we really enjoy. I'm happy for you. I hope you're happy for me because I'm happy that you believe that Marvel is back. Coming up on the other side, let's get back to talking about the Kansas City Royals, and let's talk about one of their players who is hot. That's coming up. Keep it right here. It's The Drive.
Hey, it's Lucas Ursig from the Kansas City Royals. You're listening to The Drive with CDOT on 96.5 The Fan.
Brought to you by DM Injury Law. Have you or a loved one been in a car wreck? Contact DM Injury Law today and get the money you deserve. Car wreck? Remember, Mike's got this.
Underdog just became one of the best places to make entries during playoff basketball. While they score buckets, you could score cash over on Underdog. It's one of the leading places to make all your sports selections, and you can play it in your state, Missouri or Kansas. Millions of fans have already won billions making plays on Underdog. Why not be next? Their app has over 100,000 five-star reviews and millions of players. Look, just download the app, choose whether a player will go higher or lower than their stats, assists, points, rebounds, and then make your selections. Playing an Underdog is a layup. Once your entry feels good, you can play with as little as $1, and if you get everything right, you could win up to 1,000 times your money. Download the Underdog app and sign up with promo code TAP, T-A-P-P, to unlock a special offer for up to $1,000 in bonus cash when you make your first deposit. That's promo code TAP. Must be 18 plus and present in a state where Underdog Fantasy operates. Terms apply. Concerned with your play? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. Visit www.ncpgambling.org.
Hey, KC, it's almost Andy Reid. Renner Garage Door isn't just opening doors this month. They're opening hearts in support of Mental Health Awareness Month. Renner is donating 5% of all sales to Authentic Life Foundation, supporting vital mental health services to those in need. For supporting this cause, you'll get 5% off your project. Call or visit rennerdoor.com, where quality and compassion open doors to a better community.
R-E-N-N-E-R, R-E-N-N-E-R.
For over 8 years, QC Kinetics is the nation's leader in non-surgical relief for joint pain, with over 50,000 satisfied patients. People with knee and back pain now living pain-free. Shoulder and hip pain gone. What they're doing is nothing short of remarkable. They're using regenerative cell therapy to restore the tissue in their achy joints. They're using biologic growth factors with robust healing properties, carefully and strategically placed in your joint. It's a powerful and potent way to give your joints new life. The best part, with QC Kinetics, there are no drugs, no surgery, and no downtime. It's an all-natural cellular level option with lasting relief. Imagine doing all the things you enjoy this summer without being slowed down by that awful joint pain in your knees or your back. Call QC Kinetics now and learn about these cutting-edge treatments that can help you live your best life. Call 816-412-6299. That's 816-412-6299. It's QC Kinetics.
Hi, Drew and Jonathan Scott here, reminding you that a lot of life's firsts are better with help from American Family Insurance. Like your first home expansion, or your first big lightning strike. There's a first for everything. Get the right home policy at the right price with the right help from American Family's agents. Life's better when you're under American Family's roof. Insure carefully, dream fearlessly. Get a quote and find an agent at amfam.com.
Products not available in every state. American Family Mutual Insurance Company SI and its operating company, 6000 American Parkway, Madison, Wisconsin.
What? All the budget has to be used now? And we can use all the media buy?
Javier's marketing firm just got its dream funding.
Okay, ideas. Bobbleheads. No. T-shirt cannon. I seriously need some help here.
He needs to find marketing managers who are worth every dollar.
I need Indeed.
Indeed you do. Sponsoring a job on Indeed gives it a visibility boost so you can hire faster. Redeem your $75 credit at Indeed.com/credit. Terms and conditions apply.
When something happens to your car, you might say,
My car!
but what you really need to say is something that can actually help.
Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there.
And just like that, State Farm is there to help you file your claim right on the State Farm mobile app. So just remember, like a good neighbor, State Farm is there.
State Farm, Bloomington, Illinois.
Some people just know they could save hundreds on car insurance by checking Allstate first. Like you know to check the GPS directions first, before driving to the mall.
Turn right at the light. In 1,000 miles, you will reach Montreal.
Not Montreal, the mall.
Recalculating. 6,000 miles to Nepal.
No, the mall.
Checking first is smart.
Recalculating.
So check Allstate first for a quote that could save you hundreds. You're in good hands with Allstate.
Savings vary. Subject to terms, conditions, and availability. Allstate Fire and Casualty Insurance Company and affiliates, Northbrook, Illinois.
Find mom's best gift at Target. Now through Mother's Day, get up to 40% off gifts for her. Discover trendy apparel and swimwear that'll elevate any wardrobe. Jewelry that'll make her smile shine brighter, and even chocolate that'll turn any moment into something sweeter. There are endless options to choose from to show her she's the best. Hurry! Save 20 to 40% on select apparel, jewelry, chocolates, and more this Mother's Day only at Target. Restrictions apply.
This afternoon, expect sunny skies with a high of 73.
Weather brought to you by Robert Half. Our recruiters' expertise and award-winning AI will find you the skilled candidates you want. At Robert Half, we know talent. Visit roberthalf.com/talent today.
Hey, it's Lucas Ursig from the Kansas City Royals. You're listening to The Drive with C-Dot on 96.5 The Fan.
I'm not telling you guys something you don't know, but baseball is really hard. And you are going to experience its ups and downs in the game of baseball. Maikel Garcia, I think, embodies that. In 2023, Maikel Garcia had a really, really good season. He hit .272, had an on-base percentage of .323, slugged .358, and stole 20-something bases, had 20 doubles, had a very, very productive season. I think there was a belief that Maikel was about to take the next step in 2024. It's not really what happened. He was kind of down across the board if you are comparing his numbers to where he was in 2023. And I understand that at times that caused some frustration. You know, you want to see guys improving. You want to see guys getting better. Well, to kick off this season with Maikel Garcia, he is doing what people expected him to do last year. Right now, he's leading the team in batting average. He has an on-base percentage of .378. He's slugging almost .500 right now. We're talking about a guy who is doing a better job of getting on base and getting walks, still hitting for double, hitting for a little bit more power this year than he's hit in years past. Maikel Garcia is playing like someone who is starting to figure things out. We're talking about a 25-year-old with Maikel Garcia, someone who you've got club control and someone who doesn't cost a whole lot of money. It goes without saying that if the Royals are going to be really good, you're going to need Vinny, you're going to need Bobby, you're going to need Salvi. Like, you're going to need your stars to be stars. But what the Royals were so good at in 14 and 15, and is really just an example of a lot of good teams, is you need the guys like Michael Massey, you need the guys like Maikel Garcia to be valuable contributors and play their role. And what has really helped the Royals is Maikel was helping you offensively while you were waiting for Salvi and Vinny to kind of get things going. Now that you have all of those guys going in their own way all at the same time, in addition to Bobby Witt Jr., I mean, you're playing the best baseball that you've played in probably dating back to last year, probably 2.5 months. I mean, the Royals didn't play like this in September last year because of the Vinny injury. The Royals won a series in the postseason, but they weren't great in that series. This is the best baseball that the Royals have played if we are looking at baseball time in probably 3 months or so. We talk about a big four with the Royals, and maybe you want to include Jonathan India in that, but I mean, right now, their big four has to include Maikel Garcia, Rob. He has been very, very good for this team. He has been exactly what this team has needed them to be. You pulled this stat up for me, and I appreciate it. Since the Sunday that the Royals broke the losing streak against the Tigers, so this was on April 20th, Garcia is hitting 400. He has an OBP of 444. He's slugging .620 with 2 homers, 5 doubles, and 4 RBIs the last couple of weeks for the Royals. In a basketball sense, we say this all the time. Hey, if this player plays well, it's going to be really difficult to beat that team. That's kind of what Maikel Garcia is. He's that Travis Relaford for you. He's that Caleb Grill for you. He's that guy that if he plays really well, you're just going to have a really tough time beating them, because if you get his contribution, in addition to Bobby, if you get anything from Vinny, anything from Salvi, and you can have 4 or 5 run producers in your offense, you have seen how it sparks the rest of the team. It is not that much of a coincidence to me that the Royals are playing their best baseball as Maikel Garcia is playing his best baseball in probably, a year and a half?
I love your basketball analogy, because for a while when the Royals were struggling, and to an extent last season when the Royals started struggling, they were relying on one guy to go give us 30. Hey, we need you to go be great. And that person was Bobby Witt Jr. And on nights he didn't score 30, for the basketball analogy, the Royals didn't win and the offense was bad. And during that bad stretch, that was kind of what was happening. They were getting 25, 30 a night from Bobby Witt, and no one else was scoring. No one else was doing anything. Suddenly, Maikel Garcia has emerged as maybe not a star, maybe not Robin to Bobby's Batman, but a guy that every day he's in the lineup, you expect him to do something. Maybe not drive in a homer, maybe not be the best hitter in the lineup, none of that. But you can plug him into your 5 spot and you feel good about your lineup. And we talked preseason about, hey, the Royals are really banking on Massey taking a step forward, or Melendez taking it, and Melendez and Garcia. And we can argue about if that was a good plan and how the Royals built their team. They basically built the offense of, it's the same, but we believe these 3 guys that are young guys that have come to the system, we believe they can take the next step. Melendez did not. Doesn't look like so far Massey has either. But Maikel Garcia has absolutely taken that next step, and he has suddenly made the Royals lineup look more and more dangerous as Vinny and Salvi get back to doing what Vinny and Salvi do.
Do you think this is their best lineup? So this is what the Royals have today. Jonathan India, Bobby Witt Jr., Vinny, Salvador Perez, Maikel Garcia, Michael Massey, Drew Waters, Fermin, Isbell, and they got Reagans on the mound today. Is that their best lineup? Is this the best possible team that the Royals could field right now? Now, we'll see what happens at the trade deadline. Maybe the Royals go out there, they make a move, they add an impact bat, they try to get somebody in the outfield. We're a couple of weeks away, months away from having that conversation. But if you were asking the question right now on Cinco de Mayo, what is the best possible lineup that the Royals could field? I actually think it's the one that they have going out there today.
I agree. The one critique I would have, I think their best lineup doesn't have Jonathan India in left field. I think the Royals have a little bit of a Jonathan India conundrum because his best position is second base. He's not a butcher in left field, but he's not exactly a Alex Gordon type out there. But when you DH him, you take Fermin out of the lineup. So I think this is the best lineup, but they do have a little bit of a conundrum with Jonathan India because they don't really have a true position anywhere on the diamond for him to play, because Maikel Garcia has been, you plug him in every day at third base. There was a thought earlier this season that maybe Jonathan India is your third baseman. No, but it's Maikel Garcia. So I think this is their best lineup, but I still think defensively they have a little bit of a conundrum on what to do with Massey/India.
Text line 913-586-7965. Let me know what you guys think. Is this the best possible lineup that the Royals could field out there today? What they are going on the hill. It's really good to have Cole Reagans back. Obviously, it goes without saying this team isn't winning a whole lot if they don't get a healthy, viable Cole Reagans. I mean, he's their best pitcher. He is one of the best pitchers in the American League. They got him back after a great start this past weekend from Noah Cameron, who almost had a no-hitter, certainly went deep into the game. So really exciting time for the Royals. The Royals are playing by far and away their best baseball so far of the season. Are you going out there at any point this week, Rob? I'm planning on going out there tomorrow. I like going for the $1 hot dog day. It's always a great day to go out there. Also planning to go out there one of the games this weekend. I think I'm going to go on Friday when they play the Chicago White Sox. Are you making a trip this weekend out to Kauffman Stadium?
I'm actually looking at Wednesday, but there's some weather that could be potentially in the forecast for the afternoon. So I've begun trying to convince the wife that Friday at the K is the perfect Friday night. Now, I don't know if I'll win that battle, but Red Sox in town, Friday night, should be nice weather. I believe it's a Firework Friday this weekend, too. I'm targeting Friday to get out there and see the boys in blue.
All right, well, maybe we will see each other out there at the stadium. All right, let's take a little bit of a break here. Coming up on the other side, we'll be joined by Denny Matthews, the Hall of Fame voice of the Kansas City Royals. The Royals are the top story. The Chiefs, the draft is over. There's not a lot of Chiefs news in the Royals. They're one of the hottest teams in baseball. We'll talk to Denny Matthews about it next. Keep it right here. It's The Drive on 96.5 The Fan.
You're listening to The Drive with Carrington Harrison.
For the first time in a long time, I'm willing to dream that this can be a special season for the Missouri Tigers.
Brought to you by DM Injury Law. Have you or a loved one been in a car wreck? Contact DM Injury Law today and get the money you deserve. Car wreck? Remember, Mike's got this. 96.5 The Fan.
This summer, Casey's has 89-cent fountain and frozen drinks. But if you don't have 89 cents, you could check your center console, or dig between your couch cushions, or ask Grandma for $1, or just use your credit card. We take those too. 89-cent frozen and fountain drinks at Casey's, all summer long. Restrictions may apply. See store for details.
The NBA semifinals are here, and that means all the show-stopping action continues and even gets turned up a notch. Don't miss your chance to bet on all the legendary moments with FanDuel, America's #1 sportsbook app. Want to see if that guy's hitting his over consistently, or maybe they've been flirting with a potential triple-double. Get the latest stats right inside the FanDuel app. And once the game starts, that's when things really get interesting. You can combine live prop bets into a same-game parlay for a chance to win big. You'll get started with $200 in bonus bets guaranteed. When you place your first $5 wager, all you need to do is visit FanDuel.com, use my promo code KFNZ to join today. Make every moment more with FanDuel, an official sports betting partner of the NBA, and also 96.5 The Fan. 21 and present in Kansas. First online real money wager only. $5 first deposit required. Bonus issued with nominal drawable bonus bet, which expires 7 days after restrictions apply. See terms at sportsbook.fanduel.com. FanDuel is offering online sports wagering in Kansas under agreement. Kansas Star Casino, LLC. Gambling problem. Get up with your best bet. Call 1-800-522-4700. Raise the case. GamblingHelp.com.
As men get older, our bodies change. We all know that, and often we just accept the changes as the way it is. But some of those changes, such as bad sleep patterns, low sex drive, brain fog, no energy, and reduced gains in the gym, could be due to low testosterone. And that is something you can change. This is Jeff for Heartland Men's Health. And even if you're in your 30s, if you're experiencing some or all of the symptoms I just noted, you very well may need low testosterone treatment. With our treatment protocols, if you're like most men, you'll be amazed at the change. You'll have more energy, improved mental clarity, your sleep will be better, so will your workouts, and you'll likely find that your sex drive increases too. So give us a call today and make the change for good. Your initial visit is just $99 and includes blood work and a medical consult. And if you start on treatment the day of your appointment, your visit is free. Call 844-447-6600. That's 844-447-6600. Or go to heartlandmenshealth.com. We have 3 offices to serve you. Heartland Men's Health, a Promenic restorative health practice.
At CertaPro Painters, we know that a happy place comes in many colors, like ones that inspire a sense of wonder, or a new flavor that makes life just a little bit sweeter, or one to celebrate those moments that lift you to new heights. With thousands of 5-star reviews, you can trust us to bring happiness home. CertaPro Painters. That's painting happy. Each CertaPro Painters business is independently owned and operated. Contractor license and registration information is available at CertaPro.com.
Graduation season is always so busy around our house, and when we have important celebrations, we trust Hy-Vee. They're my go-to partner for all of our family celebrations. And Hy-Vee can help you with your graduation party planning. They have party trays, personalized cakes, cookies, floral arrangements, party decor, and so much more. Plus, you can leave all the prep work and messy cleanup to Hy-Vee with full-service catering for any size celebration. Choose from a wide range of menu options to suit your style and your budget, only at Hy-Vee.
This Mother's Day, treat all of the moms in your life like a queen. No, wait, an empress with a little help from Hy-Vee. Surprise her with a stunning floral arrangement, or choose from dozens of gift cards for some retail therapy. Then bring the whole family to brunch at the Hy-Vee Market Grill. Just $24.99 for adults, $7.99 for children 6 to 12, and kids 5 and under eat free. Just one stop for endless options to crown her queen for the day. Only at Hy-Vee.
This is the story of the one.
As a lineman, he does whatever it takes to keep the power on in his community. And he wants a partner like Grainger who does the same. Grainger offers the professional-grade products he needs, from voltage detectors to harnesses to hard hats, plus fast, dependable delivery, so he can rise to every challenge. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
You ever try fixing your car and realize you're missing that one part? Yeah, been there. That's why eBay's my go-to. They've got millions of parts, guaranteed to fit. I'm talking brake pads for when yours have seen one too many miles of stop and go. Oil filters, cause you don't mess around with your engine care. Even got this cold air intake on my watch list. I might just go for it. To keep the ride cool and your DIY streak hot. Find all the parts you need at prices you'll love. Guaranteed to fit every time. eBay. Things people love. Eligible items only. Exclusions apply.
Royals coverage sponsored by Park & Go. The best deals on airport parking.
Step up to the plate and hit a home run with Casey's best airport parking. It's Park & Go. Great service, low price, zero hassle, open 24/7, and all spots are covered. Don't get caught looking. Strike three. Reserve your spot today at bookparkandgo.com.
Take me out to my TV on FanDuel Sports Network. Yeah, yeah. Royals games, announcers, and more Royals games. Did I mention they have the Royals? Stream now.
Subscribe to our YouTube channel and watch all the shows from your phone, desktop, or tablet. Your home for Kansas City sports. 96.5 The Fan, KFNC FM and AM, HD1 and HD2 Kansas City, an Odyssey sports station.
Welcome back into the drive on 96.5 The Fan, 96.5thefan.com, and also the Odyssey app. Let's head to the phone lines right now to be joined by the Hall of Fame voice of the Kansas City Royals, Denny Matthews, joins us on the show today to talk about one of the hottest teams in baseball, the Kansas City Royals. Denny, how are you doing today?
Doing just superbly.
Denny, let's just start with this. You always preach patience, and I know in April it's easy to get all excited, too high or too low about a team. You always are steady, and this team has certainly rewarded you. They have really turned things around the last 21 days or so.
Yeah, and there are going to be ups and downs throughout the next 5 months. I mean, let's be honest. And they're in a good stretch right now. The White Sox come to town, and the Royals hopefully will have a good series against them, then Boston for the weekend. So it's a good homestand. It's a homestand that you would think that the Royals could make up a little bit of ground here, but still they have to play well, they have to execute, and if they don't, even a team like the White Sox can turn you on your ear.
What is the difference about the Royals now than maybe a month ago?
The pitching has been consistent. The defense, I think, is executing a little better. Maybe weather has something to do with that and the pitching. The hitting is coming around, and some of the guys that are contributing now weren't over the month of April. So, yeah, the lineup is a little more difficult to pitch around or pitch to now, and that makes a big difference too.
I feel like a lot of that you can contribute to Salvador Perez, certainly a lot better offensively than he was the first 20, 25 games or so. Same thing with Vinny Pasquantino. They are two very different players, and whenever you get those two players going, along with Bobby Witt Jr., we'll talk about him and his hit streak that recently came to a close. This offense is pretty formidable when they can get those three guys going.
Yeah, for sure. And those are the three that carried the team last year. And it takes more than just a trio to consistently over a 6-month period just continue to fuel your offense. So, yeah, and you know that Perez is going to contribute offensively. He's got to stay healthy, obviously. Well, everybody does. Pasquantino has a track record as a very productive and good big league hitter. You knew he wasn't going to hit 170 over the course of the long season. So, yeah, and past records do mean something because that's the level at which that player is probably going to reach at some point in time. There's not a whole lot of difference between really good players from year to year. There's going to be a little bit of a variance, but not too much.
Right now, we're talking to the Hall of Fame voice of the Kansas City Royals, Denny Matthews. Denny, I feel like Vinny is getting his timing back a little bit now. The month just started. Vinny has 2 home runs this month. He's also hitting .316. This is the Vinny that we saw in June or July right before that injury.
Yeah, he probably would tell you that over the first part of the season this year, he was a little bit too pull conscious. And once you start going to, as a left-handed batter, once you start going left center to dead center, then you work your way out of that slump and work your way around to your pull side, to your power side, although Pasquantino has good power to all fields, as does Witt and Salvador Perez. But I think that was the big change for Vinny. I don't think he ever loses a lot of confidence. He knows he's a good hitter, and I'm sure in his heart he realized he was going to be coming around. But it's the old thing about just start going to the opposite field. You see the ball longer out of the pitcher's hand. Your swing is better. You can draw walks more if you're watching the ball better. And I think he would just say that plus confidence in the way he goes.
One player we haven't talked a whole lot about so far in this stretch has been Maikel Garcia. What are you seeing different from him this season than you've seen from him in years past?
Same thing. Go to the opposite field. And once he started that, he was seeing the pitches better. He was seeing the pitches longer. He was making better contact. And it's a complicated thing, but it's a simple thing. I'm talking about the art of hitting. And if you get out of your norm, if you lose track of your fundamentals, you're gonna scuffle. And once you come around, then you get the confidence back, you get the good swing back, and I think that's what happened to him.
Right now, we're talking to Denny Matthews for a few more minutes here. Let's talk about Bobby Witt Jr. It's kind of one of those things that he's so great and so consistent that we kind of overlook when he does something incredible. I mean, having a hitting streak for over 20 games, I think it got to 22. That is just a testament to the kind of hitter that he has developed into.
Yeah, and I don't think that surprised anybody. And then he hit a little bit of a lull, and that's going to happen. It's a hard game. Hitting big league pitchers is not easy, and it's not automatic. You have to work at it. He does. He's very talented. That helps. But his slumps are going to be very small, and the lesser hitters, their slumps last a little bit longer. Instead of maybe 7 games, their slumps last 14 games. And Bobby Witt, because of his skill, because of how smart he is as a hitter, and he understands, I think, the pitches he can handle and the pitches that he can't. And as a great hitter, you don't go after the pitches that you know you really can't handle that well. You get 2 strikes on you, your mindset changes a little bit. But he's smart enough to know that if he has attacking pitches that he has before successfully, he's going to wait for those pitches. You got to be patient too, and then once, as I say, you get to 2 strikes and you lock into a bit of a defensive mode, and he's very good at that, and he's not afraid to go to the opposite field, and a lot of times when he gets 2 strikes on him, you'll see him swing and the ball goes to right center or right field.
Denny, what is a characteristic that you notice among great hitters? You've certainly seen a lot. I mean, you saw one of the best hitters in baseball history in George Brett, and we are seeing one of those guys develop right now in Bobby Witt Jr. What are some similarities you see across the board that makes someone a great hitter like those 2 guys?
You start with balance. You start with confidence. You start with, again, swinging at the pitches that know you can hit, staying away from the pitches that would give you trouble. And there's so many other fundamentals that go into it. But patience, knowing that when you're in a bit of a lull offensively, you slow things down mentally and physically. You go to the opposite field. You look at the pitches longer. And sooner or later, while you get your swing back and you're able to go to your pull side with more power. But the great hitters do that. And the great hitters have tremendous confidence. If they get 2 hits early in the game, they want 3 and 4 hits. And they're not satisfied until they get those. Other guys, well, I got 2 hits tonight, and that's pretty good. And then I had 2 more at-bats, and I made out. Well, it's 500. That's pretty good. Well, the great hitters don't think that way. They think if I've got 3 hits, I want 4. If I got 4, I want 5.
I imagine there are some things about your job that are still, like, very, very rewarding. Like, even though you've done it for all this time, like, it's still special things that you see when you go to the ballpark. What is it like to see someone like Noah Cameron in his first start have such a memorable first start?
well, you just automatically root for them, don't you? And you kind of are standing out there on the mound with them and just hoping for the best. And if they have a good outing, you feel good. And I think it comes down to that. And naturally, from around here, then you're going to root for them. They're one of yours, so to speak. And I thought it was pretty impressive, the first outing.
Last thing here, the Royals are getting Cole Reagans back. We just talked about Noah Cameron. He is now back in the minors. You kind of knew that there wasn't really a spot for him right now, but if certainly an injury happens, he's going to be one of the first people mentioned to come up. How important is it? How big is it to get Cole Reagans back?
That's big. And stay healthy. That's the biggest thing. That's the one thing that I always am concerned about when I see him out on the mound. Just stay healthy, and he's going to be just fine. But he can't get hurt. That's the bottom line.
That is Denny Matthews, the Hall of Fame voice of the Kansas City Royals. The Royals are one of the hottest teams in baseball. Denny, we look forward to the next time we talk to you. The Royals win a couple more series. Thanks a lot for popping on today.
That sounds good. Talk to you then.
Absolutely. That is Denny Matthews joining us on the show. Always great to catch up with him. Coming up on the other side, sometimes you got to know your role and shut your mouth. I'll explain. Keep it right here. It's The Drive.
The Drive with Carrington Harrison, your home for the best food takes in KC.
Regular old American nachos. You know, I don't need jalapenos with mine, just chips, cheese.
Brought to you by DM Injury Law. Have you or a loved one been in a car wreck? Contact DM Injury Law today and get the money you deserve. Car wreck? Remember, Mike's got this. 96.5 The Fan.
I'm sure everyone says this, but my mom really deserves the world. This year, I finally found a Mother's Day gift that comes close. She loves Hellsberg, so I'm getting her these timeless gold earrings she can enjoy for years to come. They feel special enough to show how much I truly appreciate everything she does for me. And I mean everything. I even sent my dad a link to the Diamond Eternity band he'll be getting her, too.
Save up to 50% on Mother's Day gifts Mom will cherish forever. Visit Hellsberg.com or a store near you.
If you're looking for that new career path, have you thought about IT? Think about IT. It's needed in every single industry, whether it's sports, healthcare, construction, manufacturing, you name it, and Centric can help you get there.
No better time in the city either. KC Tech Council has 3,000 IT jobs open in March alone. 3,000. Centric can train you to do one of those jobs.
We've told you about our friend Russ Mondry and his expertise in this field. Over 16 years at Centric. He's going to help you find that career path. So go to Centric.com.
BetMGM is making your next golf tournament winner bets more exciting with Second Chance. What's Second Chance? Ever bet on your favorite golfer to win a tournament only to see them miss the green? Well, with BetMGM's Second Chance promotion, you'll get your stake back in cash if your tournament winner bet finishes in second instead. That's right. Simply bet on any player to win a scheduled golf tournament during a promotional week. If you're right, you win. But if your pick finishes in second instead of first, you get your stake back in cash. Watch your favorite players go for the win all season long and bet knowing you'll get your stake back if they finish second. Log in today and make your picks with confidence with BetMGM. BetMGM and GameSense remind you to play responsibly. See BetMGM.com for terms. 21 plus only. Kansas only. Existing customer offer. Subject to eligibility requirements. Rewards paid back in unrestricted withdrawable funds. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. In partnership with Kansas Crossing Casino and Hotel.
Hey there, I'm Jack.
And I'm Stag.
We're just two deer that want to make sure you know it's deer season at your authorized John Deere dealer. The deer season that saves bucks. You know? Like us?
Yeah, you can get $3,000 off select John Deere machines. No early wake-up calls or tree stands required.
Just a trip to your authorized dealer before June 2nd.
If you ask us, it's the only deer season worth celebrating.
Visit johndeere.com/deer season to find an authorized dealer and for complete finance details.
Well, good morning, kiddo. I love that you're home from college. I've missed you.
Still taking your nature-made vitamins?
Every day. A multivitamin and a probiotic. You better be taking yours.
Still looking out for me, Mom.
I'll never stop.
Made to care for you every day. Nature Made, the #1 pharmacist-recommended vitamin and supplement brand. Find us in the vitamin aisle, based on a survey of pharmacists who recommend branded vitamins and supplements.
I'm Brian Tedesco, CEO of Blaupunk Americas, the pioneers of the car stereo. Today, we're not just about sound systems. We are revolutionizing the e-bike scene with Blue Dot Bike. Thanks to AmericanEagle.com, our online presence now features a dynamic e-commerce website that showcases the quality and affordability of our foldable e-bikes. And our collegiate e-bikes, just perfect for the college fanatic. These e-bikes offer a new way to experience freedom on two wheels, no matter your age. When we needed a top-notch website to match our cutting-edge e-bikes, we turned to AmericanEagle.com. They made the impossible seem easy, tackling digital challenges like pros. Check out the Blue Dot Bike website to see AmericanEagle.com's amazing work in action. Need the best in website and digital marketing solutions? AmericanEagle.com is your go-to. They've been a game changer for us, and they can be for you too. Visit AmericanEagle.com or call 877-WEB-NOW-1. That's 877-WEB-NOW-1.
This is the story of the one. As a safety manager at a manufacturing plant, he does everything he can to keep his coworkers safe. From finding ways to reduce risks to keeping safety supplies in stock. And for that, he relies on Grainger. Grainger offers a broad range of quality products and next-day delivery, so he can always play it safe. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Did you know your skin is the largest organ of your body? Huh? That's why you should shower with Old Spice Super Hydration Body Wash instead of plain old bar soap. Love your skin by super hydrating it with vitamin B3 and glorious notes of vanilla and shea. Did you know that my super hydrated skin is the second largest organ of my body? The first is my heart. Old Spice. Men have skin too. Old Spice Super Hydration Body Wash. 24/7 renewing moisture. With daily use.
Tonight, expect mostly clear skies with a low of 50.
Weather brought to you by Staples. Your local Staples store has hot deals and super low prices throughout the store on everything for your business. Save even more with the Easy Rewards program at Staples.
Here's traffic, brought to you by DM Injury Law. Have you or a loved one been in a car wreck? Contact DM Injury Law today and get the money you deserve. Car wreck? Remember, Mike's got this.
The technicians you can trust with your house keys, Anthony's Plumbing, Heating, Cooling, and Electric. Some slowdowns happening eastbound 70 out of the downtown loop, kind of off and on, eases up at 31st Street. And northbound 35 is a 14-minute drive from Parvin to KCI. Money back guarantees, parts and labor warranties mean you aren't just buying products, you're securing your investment. For a limited time, receive a free furnace when you purchase an AC. Schedule your complimentary proposal online at anthonyphc.com. I'm Lori Pearson, 96.5 The Fan Traffic.
You're listening to 96.5 The Fan from the Mission Plumbing, Heating, and Cooling Studios. This is 96.5 The Fan, your home for Chiefs football.
All right, we're going to get back to the Royals coming up in just a bit. I do want to talk about one of the hottest teams in baseball. We'll get back to the Royals. We'll get back to talking baseball. But if you guys could indulge me for just a little bit to talk about a story that I have recently become aware of in the National Football League. Now, you guys know who Abdul Carter is. He was the number 3 overall pick, very talented linebacker from Penn State. He was drafted to the New York Giants. So he, at first, wanted to wear number 56. Number 56 is Lawrence Taylor's number. You could argue that Lawrence Taylor is the greatest defensive player in the history of the National Football League. That if they made a Super 22, I mean, we made a team that we think this is the best possible football team that you could create, Lawrence Taylor would start on that team. So Abdul Carter, who just got drafted by the Giants, hasn't done anything in the league, wanted to wear number 56 for the Giants. So he said, hey, Drew Rosenhaus, that's his agent. Can you put the call in for me? Can you connect us? And, let's see if he's interested in doing that. I mean, your agent's taking, 2-3%. You got Drew Rosenhaus. I'm sure he can get Lawrence Taylor on the phone. So he gets Lawrence Taylor on the phone. LT says, no, I am not unretiring my number for you to come back and wear it. Now, Lawrence Taylor came out and said, I support Abdul Carter. I just want him to make his own mark. Quote, he has to be the player that he is. he can't be another Lawrence Taylor. Well, maybe he can be better than a Lawrence Taylor. Who knows? But he has to make his mark. It's up to him. And I'm hoping that he's not thinking, oh, man, I got shot down by LT. It's not like that. It's, hey, I'm with you. I mean, I'm going to be the guy that takes two. I'm going to be 2 steps behind you and making sure that you don't fall. So at first, you went to LT. You went to Lawrence Taylor, the best player in that organization's history, maybe the best defensive player ever, and you wanted him to unretire his number for you. That's number one. You haven't even got your first check yet from the New York Giants. You haven't put your pads on, haven't practiced. All right. So LT says no. And I think LT's well within his right to say that. I don't have any problems with LT saying, no, I'm not unretiring my number. And I'm even going to let LT talk in third person because, I mean, it's Lawrence Taylor. You know what I mean? Like, I'm going to check Lawrence Taylor on that. No, if you want to think, you're right. There might not be another Lawrence Taylor. To quote Stephen A. Smith, you are a bad man. Now let's move on. After being shut down by one Giants legend, you would assume that he is just like, you know what? Maybe I should wear a different number. No, he now wants to wear Phil Simms' number, the number that he wore in college, number 11. All right, makes sense. He then reaches out to Phil Simms and asks, hey, can I wear the number? Phil is fine with it, actually, and is willing to go along with it. He then put a vote to his family. His family said, no, we're not unretiring your number so Abdul Carter can wear it. This would be my message to the young gun. You right now are focused on the wrong things. You're going up against legends, royalty. This would be like if Drake May wanted to wear number 12 for the Patriots, or whomever is going to replace Patrick Mahomes. You try to put in the phone call and you want to wear 15. No, that's their number. That's the number that they built. They created their legacy. They went on to have great success in that number. You have to put your own work in around here. Wear whatever number you want. You can't wear 56 and you can't wear 11. Wear number 8 for Kobe. Who cares? But go out there and ball out. You're calling LT to get his number and then that fails. Now you want to wear Phil Simms' number? My brother, you are making it already hard enough on yourself. You are the top 5 pick in New York. The pressure is already immense. Now your first story in the league is that you called 2 of the greatest players in the organization's history to try to wear the number? I don't know who's advising this young man. I mean, Drew Rosenhaus is his agent. It seems like he knows what he's doing here. And I understand you got to listen to what your client wants. Hey, this is what you want to do. Sure, I'm happy to put you in contact with these people. Someone's got to sit the young gun down and just simply tell him, no. Do some things first. Go out, make a Pro Bowl, be an all-pro guy, get double-digit sacks. You spent the first week of your NFL career worried about what number you're going to wear. Worry about other things. How are you going to produce in the league? Focus on the right things. That'll be my message to Abdul Carter. I'm usually for the young guns. I'm on their side. I want to be on his side. But you can't. First thing you do is when you get on the team, you want number 56 on the Giants? You can't be a linebacker in Baltimore and want to wear 52. That's Ray Lewis's number. You can't do that. The Chiefs can't let another tight end wear 8-7. No. That number's done. It's over. No one can ever wear 87 after Travis Kelce. No one else can wear 15 when Patrick Mahomes is done with it. Rob, what's wrong with these young boys? What's wrong with these young guns?
Listen, I'm not trying to defend the kid, but just for the devil's advocate's sake here, isn't this a way of him honoring former Giant legends? Like, I'm all for him creating his own path and doing the same thing, but I mean, Phil Simms didn't seem to care. It's another era of 11. It's like in college sports. There have been other players who wore 10 at Missouri. There have been other players who wore 9 at Missouri. There are other players at Kansas that have worn number 4. There have been a great lot of them in basketball. Isn't that just part of creating the legacy and the nostalgia and the allure of the number? Like, I can at least squint my eyes and see what he's trying to do. I also am surprised Phil Simms' family said no when Phil Simms says, I don't care, go crazy. Why does Chris Simms get a vote? Why doesn't Phil's vote count more? But I at least can squint my eyes and see what Abdul Carter is trying to do, but he's worried about the wrong things right now.
I think it's a little bit different in college because of the scholarship limits. There's so many different players. I get that part of it, right? I understand that. I get that part. Someone says, who cares what numbers? He wants to wear whatever number, let him wear it. The numbers are retired, so you can't wear whatever number you want to wear. They have to approve it. And when you say who cares what number, your number is synonymous with you as a player. I understand if you're a player and you build this legacy, how you think, hey, I put my work in that number. And then the organization tells you, hey, you know what? You're right. No, nobody else can wear it. I mean, when I say 23, there's only one athlete that we think about. Plenty of other players have worn 23. There's only one player to think of when I mention it. There's one. In baseball, when you say 42, there's a reason why 42 matters. Yes, your number matters in this. So, no, you can't be the hot shot new rookie coming in and now you want to take all the... No, that's not how this works. We're not changing the rules for you. You pick your own number and then you go build your legacy. And then hopefully LT's still around. Phil Simms is still around. They can be at your presentation when they're retiring your number.
But then, in the world we live in with retiring numbers, which is, no one's going to undo the world we live in, you potentially, with franchises like, let's say the Yankees, you run into players wearing goofy numbers because half the numbers are no longer available. The Yankees are a perfect analogy. You can't wear 2 anymore in New York, Derek Jeter. You can't wear 3 anymore in New York because Babe Ruth. You can't wear, 6 was Lou Gehrig, I believe? Or maybe Yogi Berra, and Yogi Berra was 8. So we haven't even gotten to the number 10 yet, and I have 4 numbers you can never, ever wear in New York. There are probably others. I know Mariano Rivera was the last player to wear 42. It's double retired in New York because of Jackie Robinson. So, I understand where the young guys are coming from, where it's like, hold up, if I get drafted or put into an organization with incredible history, I have to pick a goofy number like 64 because everything's off the board.
I'm guessing, and I don't know because the Chiefs or the Royals are not one of those organizations. I'm assuming they just retire your jersey and not your number.
But the Chiefs, no one can wear 58.
Yeah, that's a little different reason because I get that. But I'm saying is for the Lakers, if they retired numbers, what numbers could you wear in basketball? You couldn't wear 8, you couldn't wear 24, you couldn't wear 32, you couldn't wear a lot of different numbers. So I think some organizations like the Yankees, they just retire your jersey and not your number, where for a team like the New York Giants that don't have the storied history that the Yankees do or the Celtics are one of them, this number is off limits. I mean, I feel weird whenever I see Peyton Hendershot wearing 88. Why are they giving random tight ends Tony Gonzalez's number? Why? They should never do that. They should never just randomly give Jody Fortson Tony Gonzalez's number. And I will have this same stance whenever Travis Kelce is done and he is done playing football. No, they shouldn't give Jared Wiley his number. Never. You should never be allowed to put that number on again. It's done.
I will say this to further my Yankee point. I looked it up. The Lakers don't retire your jersey; they retire your number. Here are the numbers you cannot wear if you get drafted by the Lakers.
Well, you better wear number 91.
You can't wear 8, 24, 13, 16. They retired Pau Gasol's number. That's wild to me.
Wow. Why did they retire his number? Hey, you know what? You're best friends with Kobe. We got to retire your number.
I mean, it's about to get weirder. You can't wear 21 because of Michael Cooper. That one's also surprising. Elgin Baylor, Magic Johnson, Kareem Abdul-Jabbar. They retired Shaq's number 34, Jerry West, James Worthy, George Mikan. Not that anyone's going to wear 99 in basketball. The Yankees do the same thing. If you're pick a player in the draft this year. I mean, any player. Caleb Grill.
Travis Hunter. Yeah.
Travis Hunter. I'm using a basketball player.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Caleb Grill. I'll say him
Cooper Flag.
Cooper Flag.
Yeah.
If he gets drafted by the Lakers and he's like, man, I would really like to wear 16. Nope, you can't. Pau Gasol. Man, you know what? I'm a big fan of 21. Too bad. Michael Cooper. That's just when Shaq got traded there, he couldn't wear 32. I mean, it's a little bit goofy if you keep retiring all these numbers.
Hey, them the breaks. I'm sorry. Shaq, you went out and you changed numbers and you made that number iconic. They put a statue out there and that's it. You're done. Great. Congratulations. Salute to you. Someone on the text line said, just get rid of numbers altogether. That's when I know it's time to move on from this. There's a reason why they have numbers. It's not like they're going to be like, holding Jawan Taylor. Come on now. We know why they do this. We know why. Let's calm down. Someone said, I'm with you. Nobody should be wearing 88. We all think it looks goofy when they give Peyton Hendershot Tony Gonzalez's number. We all think it's goofy. Why is he? It's like you're doing this on purpose just to upset us. You wouldn't do Mahomes like this. You wouldn't do Chris Jones like this. Why are you doing Tony like this? He in the Hall of Fame too. It ain't right. Let's move on. Let's talk about the Royals. I do want to talk about the Royals. Actually, this is kind of a Royals topic, but it's more of a baseball Orioles topic than anything. I only am thinking this because the person earlier was like, well, man, I thought the Royals were going to take the next step. And I mean, they could have been the Orioles. The Orioles were 58-38 last year at the All-Star break. The Orioles were amazing. I mean, the Orioles had maybe the best young shortstop in baseball, and people were talking real high about the Orioles. I mean, they were really good, right? They had Gunnar Henderson and Jackson Holliday and Adley Rutschman. I mean, people loved the Orioles last June, last July, right? There were 20 games over. We were talking about the Orioles winning the World Series, at least being in the conversation of it, winning their division, winning the World Series. They were the example of a team that drafted right and did all the right things. Since last year's All-Star break, the Orioles are 46-53. They're 46-53. They plateaued. They peaked. The Royals are better than the Orioles. That's what we learned over the last half of season of baseball. The Royals are better than them. They were better than them in the second half. They were better than them in the postseason. They were better than them in the first half of this season. So I would say, yes, should the Royals be maybe further along than they should be? Okay, reasonable minds can disagree. We could have that conversation. You could be the Orioles. The Orioles were a team that were the hot young, hey, this is the team that's next up. Look at all these stars. They got off to a terrible start. They're 13-20. They're 13-20. They're bad. We've now seen them twice this season in Kansas City. They're not the Royals are better than them. I just want to point out that the Royals, I give the Royals a lot of credit. Maybe I shouldn't, but I give the Royals a lot of credit. The Royals were 8-14 and looked lifeless 2 weeks ago. Looked done. I wish I could keep the text from the text line and going back to 2.5 weeks ago to what many of you thought and said about the Kansas City Royals. And since that point, since they were 8-14, they have been on fire since then. They've been on fire. They've gone 11-2 since then. 11-2. And now they have a 4-game set against the Chicago White Sox. I mean, a team that they beat around. They beat around the White Sox. They own them. The White Sox are terrible. And they got Boston coming up, a team that, hey, it's a coin flip series. You could argue the Royals are better. You could argue the Boston Red Sox are better. They're a team that they're in the same weight class. Boston is not a heavyweight. They're a welterweight. They're in the same weight class as the Royals. It's a coin flip series. The Royals, they have figured a way to pick themselves up off the ground. We make the point all the time. You can't make the playoffs in April. You can only miss it. We have all seen a lot of Royals Aprils that started the way that the Royals started, where it is about to be over before it ever begins. I can't think of too many times where the Royals looked like they were about to drive into the tree and then corrected themselves and got back on the road and then started going 80 miles an hour. Because usually that start that the Royals had, they end up flaming out and crashing out almost every Royals season that I can imagine. When they start how they started, they're done. Not this team. They've been very resilient. And, I mean, almost in the blink of an eye, this is a team that went from losing 8 of 9 to then going 11-2. I mean, it is a Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde night and day difference about the Royals from the earlier 2 weeks to where we are right now. The Royals deserve a lot of credit for how they've turned things around.
They're immense credit. I mean, I do wish we had kept the text. You would have thought at 9-14. And listen, I'm not trying to defend 9-14. 9-14 was bad. But 9-14 is not a death sentence. And you would have thought on the text line the Royals were 9-62 the way people were talking. You would have thought the Royals had started 0-30. It was doom and gloom, and they deserve all the credit in the world for bouncing back. I also think, and you were talking about the Orioles and how fast it ends. I remember Jeff Passan last year and his preseason expectations thought they would be the best team in the AL. He had them winning 100-plus games last season. They obviously didn't do that. They lost in the wild card round to the Royals. Man, it just shows we've had our arguments on this show about if the Royals have done enough to surround Bobby Witt with a good offense and if they've done enough to, do enough to maximize Bobby's ability. Man, the Royals might not invest a lot in bats, and they might have a, bad offense that has a chance to rise to mediocre. Man, the Orioles have put a lot in that young core when it comes to hitting and not a lot in that pitching staff. And it feels like that's the reason for their fall off. Gunnar Henderson can still hit. Adley Rutschman can still hit. Jackson Holiday, Matt Holiday's kid, came up. He had a nice weekend. He can hit. Westberg, when healthy, he can hit. They have the bats. That ownership group and that general manager have invested none in pitching. They had two guys pitch this last weekend. When you were gone, me and Bink were joking about it. They had two guys pitch who had ERAs over 5. Yes, the Royals have not put a bopper behind, via free agency or trade, behind Bobby Witt. But they have signed Cole Reagans to a contract. They have brought Michael Wacha back. They have taken care of Seth Lugo. The Royals' game plan might be, gritting out 3-2 wins, but it looks like the alternative is what happened in Baltimore. And today, Tim Barbalet's show was talking about what has happened to this franchise.
Someone on the text line says, guys, you were down on them too. Don't dodge your words. We were all down and concerned. I was never all the way out. Yes, I was down on them. There was no way to be high on them. I didn't throw the Royals away. I want that to be known on the text line 913-586-7965. I was never out all the way. It was not going good for the Royals. No question about it. I was never out. I was still holding on. I still believed. I wasn't out all the way.
If I recall, this show had one rule for the Royals-Rocky series, which one was really bad. Just win that series.
Yeah, no,
we hadn't quit. We just said, you got to win the Rocky series.
Yeah, that's kind of where, I'll go back and say it. That Rocky series was the one I was like, all right, if they lose this series to the Rockies, I don't know what conversation we need to have about them. I was still in it. Now, sure, some people wavered a little bit. I'm not going to make it seem like everybody was out. Some of you were out on the Royals 2 weeks ago and thought that this season was completely lost. Those are the people that I'm talking to. If you wavered a little bit, sure. I mean, there ain't nothing that positive when you start 8-14. I ain't saying that they needed a parade when they were 8-14. They were bad. They were 8-14 and they lost an entire week. Every night you went home to watch the Royals, they lost. Every night. Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. Every night they lost. I get it. I'm not going to make it seem like I was positive during that time. I wasn't out, though. I want that to be my legacy there. I wasn't out. Someone on the text line says, you can go back to when Kelsey was wash takes. I kind of feel like I was right about that one. I know you guys don't want to give me the credit about being right about Travis Kelce. I feel like I was the first one to notice that Travis Kelce wasn't himself anymore. You guys didn't want to notice that about Travis Kelce. But you know what? That's not what I want to talk about that. We don't got to focus on that, but I certainly don't feel like I was wrong about that opinion about Travis Kelce. In fact, I think I was the first one to say it and to notice it about Travis Kelce. Now you guys don't even care how he does now. I mean, maybe he gets 1,000 yards. That ain't how it used to be.
Secret plays. I got secret plays for him now.
Yeah, no, I'm with you.
Now it's got to hold him back. If he gets 1,000 yards, bad coaching. That's just terrible roster manipulation.
Yeah, no, definitely, 100%. All right, coming up on the other side, you know what? I actually want to talk a little bit of NBA. We'll also continue to talk a little bit of Royals baseball. The Royals have been the absolute hottest team in baseball. They are 11-2 the last 2 weeks, and they are coming back home to take on the Chicago White Sox, a team that they have absolutely smoked. They have been smoking teams for the last couple of weeks or so. And you might find this kind of hard to believe. Hitting home runs works. It certainly worked this weekend for the Royals. They had an incredible series. Maikel Garcia has been on fire the last 2 weeks. Since the Royals ended their losing streak against the Tigers. He is hitting .400. He has a .444 on base percentage with 2 home runs, 5 doubles, and 4 RBIs the last handful of weeks for the Royals. It has been a very, very strong appearance from him. He's really, really gotten back on track offensively. Coming up on the other side, we are heading into the second round of the NBA playoffs. I'll give you guys my bets, what I really like as we head into those series. We'll also continue to talk about the Royals. Spec has a theory about them. We'll talk about it. Keep it right here, so drive.
The Drive with Carrington Harrison on your home for Kansas City sports. 96.5, The Fan. Brought to you by DM Injury Law. Have you or a loved one been in a car wreck? Contact DM Injury Law today and get the money you deserve. Car wreck? Remember, Mike's got this.
Guys, don't waste your time and money with low-quality online TRT that charges you over $100 just to start. Visit our TRT experts today at the Low T Center for a free consultation and free test. Treatment is personalized to your body, and most major insurance is accepted with the freedom to choose if you want in-center care or at-home treatment. You're in control of your health. Looking to lose weight? Get a free B12 shot when you start your prescription treatment. Offer limited. Look now at fixmylowt.com. That's fixmylowt.com.
As America's leading business lender, Bank of America is on your corner and in your corner, right here in Kansas City. With $215 billion in business loans and over 3,700 business specialists across the nation, we help businesses thrive so communities prosper. What would you like the power to do? Learn more at bankofamerica.com/local business. Bank of America, official bank of FIFA Club World Cup 2025. Copyright 2025 Bank of America Corporation, all rights reserved.
Honey, it's me, your wife. Spring is here, and our house desperately needs the experts at Powell Exteriors Casey for siding, windows, entry doors, beautiful decks, patio covers, roofs, and more. Get ready for summer at powellcasey.com.
Cosentino's food stores are celebrating 77 years of serving Kansas City. Come in today for incredible anniversary savings across the store. You'll find some of the hottest prices of the year, now through May 20th only. From fresh produce to family favorites, don't miss the unbeatable prices at every Cosentino's location. For 77 years, it's been our family's honor to serve yours, and we're just getting started.
Harrah's Kansas City Casino is giving away $700 every 7 minutes from 10 a.m. to 10 p.m. on Saturday, May 10th. And at 10:01 p.m., one lucky guest will win $7,000. With over $77,000 in prizes, there are so many ways to win. Only at Harrah's Kansas City. 21 or older to gamble. Know when to stop before you start. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER.
I'm Jordan Robinson, host of the new podcast, The Women's Hoop Show. Each episode, I'll be joined by a rotating group of women's basketball experts to talk WNBA, college hoops, the new Unrivaled League, and the shifting landscape of the sport. The game is growing, and so are we. Listen to and follow The Women's Hoop Show and Odyssey podcast, available now for free on the Odyssey app or wherever you get your podcasts.
Call Aspen Lawn and Pest Control. Our iconic blue trucks and expert team get it right the first time. Award-winning full-service lawn care and pest control since 1985. Call today for a free estimate. Visit aspenlawn.com.
This is the story of the one. As a safety manager at a manufacturing plant, he does everything he can to keep his coworkers safe. From finding ways to reduce risks to keeping safety supplies in stock. And for that, he relies on Grainger. Grainger offers a broad range of quality products and next-day delivery, so he can always play it safe. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Testing.
We're live from Chick-fil-A.
This is Grant.
And this is Laura.
And a little thing we love about the Chick-fil-A Smokehouse Barbecue Bacon Sandwich is that sweet bun.
And that chicken filet was perfectly crispy and soft at the same time.
And that Smokehouse Barbecue sauce, it's a lot of fun. And the brown sugar bacon definitely had a little bit more pizzazz. Also, the Mac, one of the all-time greats. Man, I'm getting hungry.
Order the Smokehouse Barbecue Bacon Sandwich and a Coca-Cola on the Chick-fil-A app for a limited time. Real guests paid for their testimonials.
This is the story of the one. As a safety manager at a manufacturing plant, he does everything he can to keep his coworkers safe. From finding ways to reduce risks to keeping safety supplies in stock. And for that, he relies on Grainger. Grainger offers a broad range of quality products and next-day delivery, so he can always play it safe. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Did you know your skin is the largest organ of your body? Huh? That's why you should shower with Old Spice Super Hydration Body Wash instead of plain old bar soap. Love your skin by super hydrating it with vitamin B3 and glorious notes of vanilla and shea. Did you know that my super hydrated skin is the second largest organ of my body? The first is my heart. Old Spice. Men have skin too. Old Spice Super Hydration Body Wash. 24/7 renewing moisture. With daily use.
Here's traffic, brought to you by DM Injury Law. Have you or a loved one been in a car wreck? Contact DM Injury Law today and get the money you deserve. Car wreck? Remember, Mike's got this.
Got some brake lights happening out of downtown, eastbound 70. Those do ease up at about Benton, and then we see some more slowdowns eastbound 70 out of the 435 exchange through the Blue Ridge cutoff, and some heavy traffic southbound 169 highway right at the Broadway Bridge South. I'm Lori Pearson, 96.5, The Fan Traffic.
You're listening to The Drive with Carrington Harrison on 96.5 The Fan and the Odyssey app.
We'll get back to the Royals here coming up in just a little bit. I want to play for you guys something that Steven Spector said. He has a theory about the Royals, but at least for me, when it comes to the NBA playoffs, I usually try to make a bet based on how I think the series is going to go. So I like the Celtics to win in 5 games. I'm going to take that at plus 210. I don't think the Knicks are balanced enough to keep up with the Celtics. I don't think they shoot it well enough. And I think that Boston is just too deep of a roster. I think for the Knicks to make it a very, very competitive series. The Knicks, to me, seem like a team that is about to fire their head coach in about 2 weeks, it seems to me. Hey, we've gone as far as we can with you as a head coach. We are about to move in a different direction. So that is one of my favorite bets. You can get the Celtics in 5. You can get that at plus 210. I know Rob is very excited to continue to see Jason Tatum have all the success in the world. You know that Rob is a big fan of Jason Tatum. Now, the Timberwolves and Warriors is actually a very intriguing series. I didn't see anything from Golden State in their series against the Houston Rockets to pick them to win this series. I think we saw this same Golden State scenario a couple of years ago, but this team is worse than that team. This is basically the same series that they just had against the Sacramento Kings a few years ago. The Kings were kind of the upstart team. The young team kind of pushed the old team to 7 games, and then the older, experienced team dominated in Game 7. I think the Timberwolves are running away in this series. Now, I think that Golden State has a good enough home court advantage, and Steph is good enough to get them a couple of games in this series, but and sometimes basketball is really simple. Take the team that has the best player. The best player in the Lakers and Timberwolves series was Anthony Edwards. I think the best player in this series is also going to be Anthony Edwards. So you can give me in this one. You know what, Rob? I am going to take the Minnesota Timberwolves to win this game in 6. You can get the Timberwolves at 6. I am going to give the Warriors a couple of games. You can get that at plus 490 right now on FanDuel if you would like to. Give me the T-Wolves in 6. I like them to win that series.
I mean, that's the most interesting series, right? Like, that we have left, because looking at the betting markets, that's the only one that you feel like, oh, there's some interest and intrigue. All the other ones, massive favorites. I was talking to the boss earlier. He said the Celtics are minus 800 to win their series. The Cavs before last night, and they lost last night, but they were like minus 400. I believe the Thunder are like minus 800 as well, or minus 700 to win their series. Like, if you're outright betting series winners, the only one with some intrigue and juice is Wolves and Warriors. Everything else seems like the NBA is just, hurtling toward let's get to the Eastern and Western Conference Finals.
Let me give you one more series bets, and we'll get back to the Kansas City Royals coming up in just a little bit. I really like Oklahoma City in this series. I don't think that's that much of a surprise. I think they're the best team in the NBA. I have a tough time completely counting out Nikola Jokic, though, as the best player in the world. Now, I think that the Thunder have good size and can match Jokic down in the post, but I think they're going to get a couple of games. I think that Oklahoma City is too big of a favorite in this series. Now, I'm picking them to win, so, I'm giving them so much of a chance, but you can get the Thunder in 6 at plus 470. I'm taking it. I think they get a couple of games. I think that Jokic has 1 or 2 games that he ends up just going crazy and averaging 30, 32. I think you get enough from Aaron Gordon, you get enough from Michael Porter that you win a couple of games. I'm going to go Thunder in 6. I think the value is there for the Nuggets to get a couple of games in this series, but ultimately just lose to a younger, deeper, more talented team in the Oklahoma City Thunder.
This is going to sound weird because I understand that home court is against the Nuggets. It feels like if they're going to get a few games, it's got to be early. Because we're going to have the rest versus Russ conversation. I know we're about to have the rest versus Russ conversation with the Thunder and Nuggets series. The Nuggets have been playing basketball like every other day for 2 weeks now, while the Thunder have hung out at, I don't know what the best spot in Oklahoma is. They've been hanging out there for the last 2 weeks, not playing basketball. It feels like if Jokic and co are going to get one, it's going to be early when they haven't quite found the rhythm yet. They're a little bit, not as sharp as they were in the first round. It feels like if the Nuggets are going to steal games, it needs to be early. Because if this is a 2-0 series, I feel like that Nuggets team is due for an implosion.
Yeah, I think at least for me in that series, and we can move on from this and get back to the Royals coming up in a bit. At least for me, what version of Jamal Murray are you going to get? If you get a good Jamal Murray and you got Jokic, Jamal Murray, Christian Brown, and you got those supporting cast, like you can make this a really intriguing series. You really got one really good game from him in the first series, and if you don't get a really good Jamal Murray in this one, you just don't have a chance to beat Oklahoma City. They've got so many different guys that can score. They got so much size to throw at Jokic. They also got 8 days to rest up for you where you guys didn't get that opportunity because you went to 7 games. Like, I think that's going to factor in, especially early on in this series. You're going to need Jamal Murray to just be really, really good in this series, and I'm not sure if he can consistently be that.
When was the last time Jamal Murray was really, really good?
When they won the championship.
That was
a while
that's
ago.
my point. It's been a minute. Like, it's been a while. We're going to point to, there's a lot of reasons I think historically we'll talk about the Nuggets, in hindsight with, they only got one with Jokic. Like, that's kind of how it looks like it's trending. It's because the Robin to his Batman has stopped holding up his end of the bargain. Like, basically since the Heat walked off the floor in Denver, Jamal Murray has not been Jamal Murray since then.
Yeah, I wonder how much of that is just the injuries. Like his body is just. His
I'm not saying it's like
he just.
I'm not saying he's like he stinks, but like I get why it happens. But it has happened, and they have relied a lot of their offense on him being that next guy. He isn't.
Yeah, I think he's one of the weaker twos that is left. Like if you were saying who's your second best player, if your second best player is Jamal Murray, that might have helped you win a championship back in 2021. That's just I don't know if that's helping you win a championship in 2025. I will say, like we were talking about a little bit earlier, I've been very impressed with Christian Brown and how he's developed as a player. Like I kind of thought he was a 6th, 7th guy, like role player, kind of come off the bench. Like he's turned into like a do everything kind of guy. He can get you 20 if you need to. He can guard the other team's best perimeter player. He plays with good energy. Like Christian Brown has developed into one of the better Kansas players in the NBA the last couple of years.
As a KU fan, I feel like he's the best KU player currently in the NBA. Like, Joel Embiid's not technically in the NBA. He's watching from the bench, although he's more talented than Christian Brown. Andrew Wiggins, I know he had some off-the-court personal issues he was dealing with over the last year and a half. He has not been great for the Heat. The Morris, I believe it's Markieff Morris is still in the league. He's a role player. Marcus is on Big 12 Network. Like, Christian Brown is currently the most productive NBA player. Ochai Abaji's getting hollow buckets in Toronto, which party on. So is he and Grady Dick are having a lot of hollow buckets up in Toronto, just doing nothing for a team going nowhere. Christian Brown is a starting NBA player. I didn't think that would ever happen on a team that is top 4 in the West, and they have the best player in the world. Like, he is the most productive Kansas player in the NBA right now, and it's not close.
Do you think Christian Brown is the last real Jayhawk that Bill Self will have?
Ochai, they're probably in the same.
Yeah, both of them.
Probably. Just the way the world changed. Although I think KU fans will always, in a year from now, KU fans will remember Darren Peterson fondly. Even though he's going to be a one and done, they will They will treat
Can we
him
see how the
different.
season goes first?
We can.
I'm just saying, can we see how the season goes first? Because
Absolutely.
I'm guessing if I'd asked you the same question about Josh Selby around this time, you would have gave me the exact same answer. It didn't go that way.
Probably. But you've been to KU games. A lot of kids walking around in Embiid jerseys, and his 1 year at Kansas wasn't like gangbusters, but they still remember him fondly.
Y'all claim Embiid like that?
The students do. There's a lot of Embiid jerseys in the student section.
Okay. You guys claim Andrew Wiggins?
There are more Embiid jerseys in the student section than Devontae Graham jerseys, like NBA jerseys. You see more Sixers than Hornets.
Okay, I'm just asking if you'll consider him if he's the last real Jayhawk. You guys really love Christian and Ochai.
Yeah,
it's a little different love. You guys haven't loved any players you guys have had since then. You don't even love DeJuan like that. DeJuan was on the team.
I mean, Ochai and Christian Brown were local and they won a title. DeJuan
Harris is local. He won a title. You guys hated on DeJuan Harris for 2 straight years.
He was Alex Gordon. He stayed too long. He
should have left.
He stayed long enough to become the villain. It's like we talked about at the top of the show. We did the lineup, that 2017 team. Alex Gordon was hated that year because he made $72 million.
Coming up on the other side, we'll get back to talking about the Royals. Spectre has a very interesting thought about the team. I'll tell you what it is. Keep it right here. It's The Drive.
Hey, it's Cole Reagans from the Kansas City Royals. You're listening to The Drive with CDOT on 96.5 The Fan.
Brought to you by DM Injury Law. Have you or a loved one been in a car wreck? Contact DM Injury Law today and get the money you deserve. Car wreck? Remember, Mike's got this. Here's traffic, brought to you by DM Injury Law. Have you or a loved one been in a car wreck? Contact DM Injury Law today and get the money you deserve. Car wreck? Remember, Mike's got this.
Southbound 71 looking heavy from MLK through East Gregory. Also seeing the same slowdowns eastbound 70 out of downtown. That is through Benton Boulevard. And then again, eastbound 70 out of the 435 Exchange. I'm Lori Pearson, 96.5 The Fan Traffic.
This report is brought to you by Surfside Iced Tea and Vodka in Surfside Lemonade and Vodka. Surfside Iced Tea and Vodka in Surfside Lemonade and Vodka. Proud partner of the Kansas City Royals. Each can of Surfside is only 100 calories, and the best part, 0 bubbles. Grab it at the Cave or ask for it at your favorite bars and liquor stores.
Hi, Mia here at the winnings desk of the Missouri Lottery. So, I wanted to write a thank you note for every dollar Missouri Lottery players have given to Missouri and education, but that would be 8.4 billion notes. So to save a little time and a whole lot of paper, here's just one. Dear every single lottery player in Missouri, thank you for helping us give $8.4 billion to Missouri and education. Sorry, my trumpet's in the shop. The Missouri Lottery. Winners welcome and play responsibly.
Ring the bell. We've done it again. Golden Oak Lending has lowered rates to 4.875 fixed. Lower your monthly payment, get cash out, pay off credit cards, and best of all, make no mortgage payments for 2 months. Lock in this incredible 4.875 rate and get your cash in as little as 14 days. Call 913-890-GOLD.
Golden Oak Lending cured my blues.
5.81 APR, FHA, 15-year, 20% equity, qualified credit. Additional terms apply. NMLS 114937.
For over 8 years, QC Kinetics is the nation's leader in non-surgical relief for joint pain, with over 50,000 satisfied patients. People with knee and back pain now living pain-free. Shoulder and hip pain gone. What they're doing is nothing short of remarkable. They're using regenerative cell therapy to restore the tissue in their achy joints. They're using biologic growth factors with robust healing properties, carefully and strategically placed in your joint. It's a powerful and potent way to give your joints new life. The best part, with QC Kinetics, there are no drugs, no surgery, and no downtime. It's an all-natural cellular level option with lasting relief. Imagine doing all the things you enjoy this summer without being slowed down by that awful joint pain in your knees or your back. Call QC Kinetics now and learn about these cutting-edge treatments that can help you live your best life. Call 816-412-6299. That's 816-412-6299. It's QC Kinetics.
This is the story of the one. As a safety manager at a manufacturing plant, he does everything he can to keep his coworkers safe. From finding ways to reduce risks to keeping safety supplies in stock. And for that, he relies on Grainger. Grainger offers a broad range of quality products and next-day delivery, so he can always play it safe. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
All right, when it comes to getting life insurance for your family, a lot of excuses can get in the way. But ask yourself this. If something were to happen to me, who would pay the mortgage, the kids' education, and the other bills? Then forget the excuses and check out Ethos Life, the online, easy way to get life insurance in 10 minutes. Ethos has rates that you can afford, like a $500,000 policy for a 40-year-old male starting at $1 a day or $30 a month, with a few health questions and no medical exam. Get your free quote right now at checkethos.com. That's checkethos.com. Not available in all states. Rates do vary.
This summer, Casey's has 89-cent fountain and frozen drinks. But if you don't have 89 cents, you could check your center console, or dig between your couch cushions, or ask Grandma for $1, or just use your credit card. We take those too. 89-cent frozen and fountain drinks at Casey's all summer long. Restrictions may apply. See store for details.
Need to sell your house in Kansas City but not sure where to start? Selling a home can feel overwhelming, especially if you're facing foreclosure, a divorce, an inherited property you don't want, or just need to move quickly. But you don't have to figure it out alone. Rex Buys KC is here to help. As a local home buyer, I understand the Kansas City market inside and out. My family and I live right here, so I know the neighborhoods, the trends, and the challenges homeowners face. That's why I take a consultative approach, helping you explore your options and find the best path forward. We buy houses in any condition, no need for repairs, no agent commissions, and no hidden fees. You'll receive a fair cash offer with a closing timeline that works for you. Whether that's in as little as 7 days or at your own pace, just a simple, hassle-free process designed around your needs. If you're ready to talk through your options, call me today at 816-330-6000 or visit rexbuyskc.com. Let's find the right solution for you. Rex Buys KC. Local, fair, and focused on you.
Hey, it's Cole Riggins, and this is 96.5 The Fan, your home for Royals baseball.
KFNC FM and AM, HD1 and HD2 Kansas City, an Odyssey sports station. The Drive. First to breaking news in Kansas City.
We'll get back to the Royals here coming up in a bit, but we do have some breaking news. The Baltimore Ravens have made the decision to release kicker Justin Tucker. You guys remember Justin Tucker was caught up in massage room allegations. They have released a statement, quote, "Sometimes football decisions are incredibly difficult, and this is one of those instances. Considering our current roster, we have made the tough decision to release Justin Tucker. He has created many significant and unforgettable moments in Ravens history. His reliability, focus, drive, resilience, and extraordinary talent made him one of the league's best kickers for over a decade. We are grateful for Justin's many contributions while playing for the Baltimore Ravens. We sincerely wish him and his family the very best in this next chapter of their lives." So the Ravens released Justin Tucker. I don't really think this was that difficult of a decision. If you think about what he is accused of, you also think about the kind of player that he is now. This seemed like a no-brainer, and I'm surprised that it took this long to happen. Justin Tucker is quite possibly the best kicker that the NFL has ever had. He is an 8-time All-Pro. He is on the All-Decade team for the 2010s. He has the longest field goal in NFL history. He has the highest field goal percentage in league history. And his career is over today. Justin Tucker will never kick again in the National Football League. There is not another team that is picking up Justin Tucker. It has been, I think, obvious for the last year that he is diminishing as a kicker. Like, his leg is not nearly as strong as it was 2-3 years ago, so he's not the same kicker. And I don't know how you can bring Justin Tucker into your locker room with everything that he is accused of. This would be my question to Baltimore, and I don't think we will ever get the answer to it. Are you guys releasing Justin Tucker because we found out about this? Because I find it hard to believe that Justin Tucker was banned for all of these massage parlors in the Baltimore area. Some of these incidents, alleged incidents, happened 3-4 years ago. It seems like you guys were cool with them continuing to kick then. It stayed out of the public eye. He was incredible during that time. You guys didn't really seem to have an issue with it until we found out that he was Mr. Nasty Man in these massage parlors. But it's not like this was a recent thing that happened at the end of the season and you guys now found out and made swift and decisive actions about it. No, Justin Tucker was nasty while he was a member of the Baltimore Ravens. It then got uncovered by a local paper, and then you guys made what is the only decision. No, you can't kick for us anymore. We got to go in a different direction. They drafted a kicker, so it was very clear the direction that they were going to go. They found a replacement for Justin Tucker, younger, cheaper, possibly better at this stage in his career, and at least to our understanding, no baggage that he comes with, and they decided to go in a different direction. But, I mean, this is the end of Justin Tucker's career. We do not hear from him anymore in football. I don't know what he will do outside of football, but Justin Tucker will never kick again in the National Football League.
Adam Schefter's put out the team insists it was a football decision to release Justin Tucker. And I think we're about 12 months away from having this same breaking news alert, but for the Browns starting quarterback Deshaun Watson, like contractual, and there are some things, but like the icky part of this is I think you're onto something. Like if Justin Tucker was still banging home field goals the way he did in 2013, 2014, 2015,
he would still be on the team.
He's still be on the team. And I don't know, I'm not accusing the Ravens of a cover-up or whatever, but it seems like he started missing kicks, he wasn't as good, and the allegations, you got to go. But if he was still nailing kicks, I think they would be like, we are continuing to monitor the situation. We understand the NFL has him under investigation. We will continue to, deal with the process. Like, I think you hit the nail on the head. They are cutting him today because it is a football decision. He stopped kicking well, and there's baggage. In a year, Deshaun Watson will get cut, and the team will claim it's a football decision because he stinks, and there's baggage. That's like the dirty part of the NFL.
Text line 913-586-7965. C-Dot, with all that being said, do you think Justin Tucker will be in the Hall of Fame? Not anymore. I think he was going to be.
That's actually, there's a lot of people who've done a lot of bad stuff in the Hall of Fame. Now, they did the stuff post-mortem, like O.J. Simpson's a Hall of Famer.
Yeah, but I think at least if you're Justin Tucker, if you already play a position, like let's say that Justin Tucker was Tyreek Hill. I think Tyreek Hill is just going to go into the Pro Football Hall of Fame at some point. Like he plays wide receiver. There aren't that many kickers in there, and how your career ended, no, I don't think you get into their, like, football players are already hesitant to put you in their very special club. You're going to be in that special club with that on your jacket? Absolutely not. Absolutely not. No, you will not be in if that's the case, if you're Justin Tucker. You would have been. Justin Tucker is the best kicker we've ever seen. I don't even really think it's that arguable. I think it's him and then it's Adam Vinatieri. Those are the two best kickers of our lifetime. I think Tucker was going to get in. I don't think you can vote him in anymore. I don't think he's getting 70% of the vote after all that. No chance. He's done. He's done. We will never see from him again playing football. None of those things. He's over. It's over.
I truly, truly hope you're right. I hope that when he shows up on the ballot, he gets low numbers and falls off the ballot, because if the things he's accused of off the field are true, you're right. I don't want him in the Hall of Fame for those reasons. But man, the Hall of Fame, baseball Hall of Fame voters have created this hard line. They're now the morality police. The NFL has not really operated that way. There are some guys who are in the Hall of Fame who have done some things that you're like, ugh. I mean, Ray Lewis might have killed a person, and he's in the Hall of Fame. And he got in no problem. And I'm not trying to equate crimes, but he got in. He gets the gold jacket. No one seems to talk about it.
Justin Tucker ain't Ray Lewis. That's all I'm saying.
They're both maybe the best to ever play their position.
Yeah, one plays kicker. One plays kicker. I'm with you. If Justin Tucker played running back, he'd be in the Hall of Fame. If Justin Tucker played quarterback, he'd be in the Hall of Fame. Your team never won the championship, and you got disgraced? No, you're not getting in. Not as a kicker. No, not at all. And I think a big part of this is, do people like you? That matters. Do people like you? I don't think people really like him right now. So it's just going to be tough to kind of get that groundswell of support for you to get the necessary votes to eventually get into the Pro Football Hall of Fame. I think he's done. I think we will never, at least in a football sense, he will maybe do something else. I don't know. He'll be a political pundit or something. I don't know what Justin Tucker will do with his life, but I think in terms of him kicking.
By the way, he does have a Super Bowl.
Oh, yeah, he was on a Super Bowl team.
He was on a Super Bowl team,
right.
yeah.
My bad. I have my time.
I agree with you, but I mean, his Wikipedia page is going to have a lot of accomplishments, including a Super Bowl ring.
My bad, Justin Tucker. I forgot you were on that team. I apologize. You were on that championship team, so salute to you. All right, let's talk about the Royals. I want to play this for you. So I was talking about the Royals earlier with Steven Spector, and he has a theory about the Royals. I'll play it for you.
All right, guys. MJ Melendez was sent down on Saturday, April 19th. Since then, the Royals have gone 11-3 and have beaten good teams like the Astros, the Rays, the Orioles. They beat the Tigers on that final Sunday to end that horrible road trip. 11-3 since he got sent down. And as someone who doesn't really believe in sports coincidences, I don't think this is a coincidence. One, you're obviously replacing a player in the lineup who was hitting under 100. And then second, when a guy who's been on the roster for the last 3 years is sent down, it does send shockwaves through that clubhouse. It makes a difference. Maybe it makes everybody focus in a little bit more, thinking, hey, this could be me next. It gives Drew Waters a little bump in confidence to say, hey, they didn't send me down. I now get to play right field every day. Drew Waters, one of the hottest hitters on the team. I don't think there's any coincidence that MJ Melendez was sent down 2 weeks ago and the Royals are playing their best baseball of the season and now 3 games above 500 heading into a really, really important homestand where you get 4 against the White Sox and 3 against Boston. I think 5-2 is the expectation this week. And then you're inching towards Memorial Day, and that's not when teams start to make moves, but that's when teams start to say, hey, our season isn't going to happen the way we wanted to. Let's start putting people and feelers out there on the trade block. And with J.J. Picollo being really aggressive, maybe the Royals are in a position where they're 6-7 games over 500 at Memorial Day, and they start saying, all right, who's that corner outfield bat that we can go and acquire to make this lineup a little bit longer? Maybe you add in a Jack Caglione in August. All of a sudden, this lineup that started out really cold in April is one of the better lineups in the American League and can challenge for an AL pennant. No coincidence that this 11-3 run started with MJ Melendez getting sent down.
All right. What do you guys think about this? 913-586-7965. I thought this was pretty interesting. Spec believes that the Royals sending down MJ Melendez has been a spark for their recent stretch. I mean, the timing does line up. MJ Melendez's last game with the Royals was on April 16th. The Royals got hot on the 20th of April and have been hot ever since. Now, I think there are other factors at play here. There's scheduled plate appearances. He got 4 hits. The Royals, it is not an opinion at this point. They got an automatic out of their lineup. A lineup that was already struggling. That's why I hate the idea of, what can they do? You can't continue to do that. You could not continue to give MJ Melendez at-bats every single day. They stopped doing that, and they have turned things around offensively. And it has really elevated all of them. You look at Biggio. You look at a couple of the other moves that they've made. You look at a couple of the other moves that they've made and the secondary role players. Giving more ABs to those players have been an overwhelming positive for the Royals. I don't think it's all MJ being gone, but it's not a bad theory that the Royals sending down MJ was a major catalyst for this turnaround.
I don't think the theory is that bad, and I think one of the points he made in that is why I think he's kind of right. He said it probably sent shockwaves into the clubhouse. I think maybe not shockwaves in the clubhouse, but I think more so than anything else, J.J. Picollo and John Sherman, by sending MJ Melendez down, and more J.J. Picollo than John Sherman, sent a message to that clubhouse. In 2025, losing is unacceptable. We are not evaluating talent. We are not trying to develop. We are not, hey, you were one of our guys. You came up. You're a sacred cow. None of that. It is winning. The ultimate goal is winning. And MJ Melendez, you are one of the hindrances on us winning games because you are not hitting. Forget about the Mendoza line. He wasn't hitting 100. He was really bad. And I think it was a culture move as much as anything else. Not that MJ Melendez is bad, for their clubhouse, but I think it was a reawakening in that clubhouse that, hey, we're not here to figure it out together and we're all part of the team. We came up together and we're all, chummy. No, it's win games. And Drew Waters is better at helping them win games. Mark Canha came off the IL. He is better at helping them win games. I mean, Hunter Renfroe he's not good. No one confuse him for good right now. But he isn't as bad as MJ Melendez was, and his defense has stopped being a negative. I think that point about a culture shock or shockwaves through the clubhouse is not bad. It's not a bad theory because suddenly the team woke up the minute he ended up in Omaha.
You know what? Let's talk more about this coming up on the other side. 913-586-7965. Let us know what you guys think. Spec believes that the Royals' run has been sparked by the Royals sending down MJ Melendez. What do you guys think? Keep it right here. It's The Drive.
The Drive with Carrington Harrison on your new home for Chiefs football. 96.5, The Fan, brought to you by DM Injury Law. Have you or a loved one been in a car wreck? Contact DM Injury Law today and get the money you deserve. Car wreck? Remember, Mike's got this.
Thanks for calling Discover. This is Nia.
Hi, Nia. It's Jennifer. Did you know that Discover automatically doubles all the cash back you've earned at the end of your first year?
Yeah, I work here.
Okay. I was just double checking. Get it?
Because Discover automatically doubles all the cash back you've earned at the end of your first year?
Oh, you get me, Nia.
Or you could say that I double get you.
I guess we've taken it too far.
You earn, we match. Discover Cashback Match. See terms at discover.com/creditcard.
Find mom's best gift at Target. Now through Mother's Day, get up to 40% off gifts for her. Discover trendy apparel and swimwear that'll elevate any wardrobe. Jewelry that'll make her smile shine brighter, and even chocolate that'll turn any moment into something sweeter. There are endless options to choose from to show her she's the best. Hurry! Save 20 to 40% on select apparel, jewelry, chocolates, and more this Mother's Day only at Target. Restrictions apply.
Storm season 2025 is here. Get peace of mind on the health of your roof and make Century Roofing your first call. We have extended our free material upgrade sale on all roof replacements. Get a Class 3 or 4 impact-resistant shingle for the same price of the standard 30-year or premium shingle. Save on your insurance premium and see why we continue to be voted best of Johnson County. Trust the pillars of strength for 35 years. KC-based and female-owned. Century Roofing, KC.com.
Century Roofing, trust the pillars of strength.
Buckle up and hang on, this is going to be a good one.
The fans of Kansas Speedway know how to have a good time. One that celebrates fantastic finishes.
Crash together, so close.
And family-friendly facilities. Trading paint.
We got feuding.
And tailgating tradition. Burnouts, beer, and barbecue. Oh, it'll for sure be a good time. And you are all invited. NASCAR weekend at Kansas Speedway, May 9th through the 11th. Get your tickets now at kansasspeedway.com.
Hi, this is Toby Tobin along with Jason Goodenkoff from Lewisburg Ford in Lewisburg, Kansas. Hi, Jason.
Hello, Toby.
Holy cow, you've done it again.
We've done it again, Toby. We won the President's Award again this year. This is the 22nd time we've been awarded this awesome honor from Ford Motor Company.
But what is the President's Award?
The President's Award is the top award Ford Motor Company gives its dealers for excellence in customer satisfaction in both sales and service and their sales penetration numbers. So we are super honored to have received this award for the 22nd time.
It covers the whole works at Lewisburg Ford.
Absolutely, and it's a testament to the awesome people we have working at Lewisburg Ford and helping our customers, and it really shows with this award because it's only a few dealers that get it, and we've done it 22 times.
I guarantee you this is the best place to buy a Ford car or truck in the Midwest.
Absolutely. You couple that President's Award lineage with our no-hassle Toby Tobin pricing, it does not get any better than that.
What is your toll-free number?
816-444-2300.
Or LewisburgFord.com.
Catchy tune, right? But don't let the urge to sing along distract you from the truck drifting towards your lane, or that lane-splitting biker creeping up beside you. Fortunately, every Hyundai offers advanced safety features that can alert you to potential dangers around you. And Hyundai has over 130 IIHS Top Safety Awards since 2006. Because Hyundai is always working to ensure the road doesn't... IIHS Top Safety Awards include Top Safety Pick and Top Safety Pick Plus awards to Hyundai vehicles from 2006 to 2025.
DQ presents How to Hit Summer's Sweet Spot. The new DQ Summer Blizzard Treat menu is here. And as the official treat of MLB, we're swinging big with our fan favorite S'mores Blizzard Treat. Plus, new mixing bowl mashup with brownie batter and chocolate chip cookie dough. And even more in our Stack Summer lineup. Hurry in today because nothing says summer like baseball and our new Summer Blizzard Treat menu. Right now at DQ. Happy tastes good. Participation may vary. Major League Baseball trademarks used with permission.
Getting engaged? At Shane Company, we'll help you find the perfect diamond. This is your engagement ring, aka only your life's most important piece of jewelry. No need to worry. As gemstone experts since 1929, we handpick only the most beautiful natural and lab-grown diamonds cut to our high standards in every price range. We have diamonds in all shapes and sizes, ready to compare side by side right here in our store. Come see for yourself at Shanco.com or at your local store. No appointment necessary. Shane Company, your friend and jeweler.
Royals coverage sponsored by Park & Go, the best deals on airport parking.
Step up to the plate and hit a home run with Casey's best airport parking. It's Park & Go. Great service, low price, zero hassle, open 24/7, and all spots are covered. Don't get caught looking. Strike three. Reserve your spot today at bookparkandgo.com.
Here's traffic, brought to you by DM Injury Law. Have you or a loved one been in a car wreck? Contact DM Injury Law today and get the money you deserve. Car wreck? Remember, Mike's got this.
Two-car crash eastbound 470 just past Douglas on the left shoulder on the Metro Southeast side. There is some slowdowns coming up on it, and things looking heavy out of downtown eastbound 70 to right about Benton Boulevard. And again, those slowdowns happening eastbound 70 out of the 435 exchange, lightening up at the Blue Ridge cutoff. I'm Lori Pearson, 96.5 The Fan Traffic.
You're listening to 96.5 The Fan from the Mission Plumbing, Heating, and Cooling Studios.
Hey Kansas City, it's Michael Waka. Welcome into The Drive with Carrington Harrison on your home for Royals baseball. 96.5 The Fan.
All right, we're talking about a theory from our guy Steven Spector. Spector believes that the Royals' run has been sparked by them sending down MJ Melendez.
All right, guys, MJ Melendez was sent down on Saturday, April 19th. Since then, the Royals have gone 11-3 and have beaten good teams like the Astros, the Rays, the Orioles. They beat the Tigers on that final Sunday to end that horrible road trip. 11-3 since he got sent down. And as someone who doesn't really believe in sports coincidences, I don't think this is a coincidence. One, you're obviously replacing a player in the lineup who was hitting under 100. And then second, when a guy who's been on the roster for the last 3 years is sent down, it does send shockwaves through that clubhouse. It makes a difference. Maybe it makes everybody focus in a little bit more, thinking, hey, this could be me next. It gives Drew Waters a little bump in confidence to say, hey, they didn't send me down. I now get to play right field every day. Drew Waters, one of the hottest hitters on the team. I don't think there's any coincidence that MJ Melendez was sent down 2 weeks ago and the Royals are playing their best baseball of the season and now 3 games above 500 heading into a really, really important homestand where you get 4 against the White Sox and 3 against Boston.
I think that sometimes we just like to, I don't know, maybe it's like the way that we watch like sports movies, like someone on the text line, C-Dot, the move sparked accountability. I don't really know if that's the case. I mean, Spec kind of said the same thing there too. Man, guys just kind of focus in a little bit more. They got a guy out of their lineup who was hitting .08, and they have replaced him with 3 major league bats. Since that point, since the winning streak had started, Drew Waters is hitting .348. Since the winning streak started, Mike Canna is hitting .263. Maikel Garcia is hitting .400. I don't think that necessarily the sending MJ Melendez down was some message that everybody needed. It's really difficult to continue an inning and build momentum if you have essentially the pitcher hitting 7th for you every night. That's what they had. They had a pitcher hitting for them every single night. I gave you guys the stats. In the month of April, he had 52 ABs. He got 4 hits. Even if you get something going in the inning, and now you scored a run. Oh, well, MJ Melendez is up. He's not even putting the ball in play. He's striking out. So I do think there is a lot of truth to it. I think there's a lot of truth to the Royals took one of the biggest negatives in the sport out of their lineup every day and then started giving Drew Waters consistent at-bats. And Drew Waters has done really well with those consistent at-bats. You took a guy who was hitting 80, and now you replaced them with the guy who's hitting 350. It's not a surprise to me that the offense turned itself around. You have started to get the right players to contribute and get them all on the same page at the same time. Bobby had a 20-something game hitting streak. This is the best version of Vinny Pasquantino they've gotten since the injury. Salvador Perez has been smacking doubles around for the last couple of weeks or so. You've got the best version of Maikel Garcia that we've seen in a year and a half. And you've also taken a negative out of your lineup and you've turned it into some positives around here. You're right. At this point, their lineup is turned around. You're not even as worried about Hunter Renfroe. I mean, Renfroe has not been good. Don't get me wrong. But at least Hunter Renfroe is hitting like 200. All right, I can live with 200. I mean, it's not ideal, but man, I don't know what you can do when a guy is hitting 0.85 and striking out and doesn't get on base. You can't do anything with that in your lineup, and they had them in their lineup pretty consistently.
I get what you're saying, but I do think there's something, and maybe it's because of who MJ was as a player, because it is not in the too distant past that when we talked about, hey, the Royals could start getting good again, there were 3 names: Bobby Witt Jr., Vinny Pasquantino, and MJ Melendez. Those 3 were supposed to be the pillars of the rebuild, rejuvenation, restart, whatever term the Royals used. Those were supposed to be the catalysts. Vinny Pasquantino has largely, now not a lot this year, but largely held up his end of the bargain. Bobby Witt definitely did. MJ Melendez was not taking care of his end of the bargain even a little bit. So the on-the-field part, I think you're 100% correct, but I think there's something there to the fact the Royals didn't treat MJ Melendez like a sacred cow. Like, hey, you were always supposed to be part of the turnaround. We still trust you to be part of the turnaround. They said, nope, you ain't helping us anymore. We will find someone else who does, whether that be Drew Waters or Mark Canha, who they picked off the scrap heap at the end of spring training. We are more focused on winning than how we get to the wins. And I think the fact that MJ was supposed to be part of the future and he's now, toiling away in AAA had to have some level of impact to that clubhouse.
Do you think MJ is coming back?
No.
Like for good? You think he's down there?
I think if he comes back up is because there's been a rash of injury. Let me say it this way. He's not coming up because of performance. If someone gets hurt right now, knock on wood, I think he's probably the name, but I don't think he's hitting his way out of AAA.
Do you want to know what he's doing right now in AAA?
I don't think it's much, if I recall, unless he's gotten hot recently.
You want me to tell you what he's doing?
I'm fascinated.
He's hitting 170 with a 216 on base percentage.
That's not good. He's a story where in January you hear that he got traded for a AAA bullpen arm.
He feels broken.
Yeah.
He feels broken. That I get it. You had to get him off your big league club. You think when you go down to AAA, when you've been on the big league club for as long as he is, hey, let me go down here, let me clear my head, let me mash this AAA pitching, and let me come back. Now, I mean, it's a small sample size. I mean, it's only been 12 games since he's been down there, so I don't make it seem like he's been down there a long time. But, I mean, this player, there's no reason to bring this player back on your team. And I'm with you. Unless there is a significant rash of injuries with the Kansas City Royals, I have no reason to believe that we should be seeing MJ Melendez anytime soon. I mean, this is basically what he was doing for the Royals. He has 18 strikeouts, 3 walks. He's hitting 170 with a 216 on base percentage, and he has 1 home run. Like, you have just taken what you were doing against the White Sox, and now you were doing against the Norfolk Wave. You were the same player that you were down there. No, you got to start hitting your way back up here and giving us any reason for confidence. I am with you. This does feel like some July day when it's real slow. We hear that they traded him for like cash considerations. We get the tweet that comes across from Aaron Rodgers that they traded MJ Melendez to the Boston Red Sox for a player to be named later in cash considerations, that the Royals just possibly move on from MJ Melendez. Maybe they don't give up on him, but I mean, they were emphatic that they had it figured out. Hey, we fixed his swing. He's going to turn things around. That ain't what it looks like right now. It looks like he is a player that is completely lost right now.
You're right. I mean, I remember when he got sent down, we talked about it on the show. There have been major successes in Royals history of guys who went down to AAA. They took their medicine, for lack of a better term. They took the demotion. They worked harder. They fixed their swing. They started mashing, and they came back up, and they were better players. Alex Gordon and Mike Moustakas immediately jumped to the front of your mind. But, man, for every Mike Moustakas and Alex Gordon story, I bet me and you can find guys who weren't hitting the major league level, got sent down in AAA, and it never clicked. It never happened. And you're right. I don't know if it's July. I think it's an offseason thing. I think the Royals will be patient with him and like let him, toil away on the roster. But I think it's like we're getting ready for the Halloween game, the Thanksgiving game with the Chiefs. Maybe they're on Black Friday again this year, and we get the ESPN news alert. MJ Melendez traded for cash considerations or a single A lotto type of player arm. They just it doesn't feel like it's going to turn around anytime soon.
Do you think this is the Royals' best lineup? So this is the lineup that the Royals have out there today. They have Jonathan India, Bobby Witt Jr., Vinny, Salvi, Maikel Garcia, Michael Massey, Waters, Fermin, and Isbell, with Reagan's on the hill today. Is this their best possible lineup? Like today, if the Royals had a playoff game, is this the lineup that they would trot out there? I think this is their best chance of winning right here.
I think that's two different questions. I think right now that's their best lineup. If it was a playoff game, I do not believe that's what the lineup will look like. I think the lineup is going to have major changes between today and October.
I agree with you. I think at some point this season, the Royals will look at themselves and think, hey, what if we spent a little bit to try to go get the outfield? Hey, we thought we had enough coming into the season. We didn't have enough coming into the season. Let's take a little bit of our equity and let's try to go get an outfield. I don't expect them to make some kind of seismic changing move, but I do think they'll go out there. But I'm with you. Like, if you were trying to put together a lineup that you think can consistently score runs, I think this is the best chance that they have. Now, maybe you move Maikel Garcia to the one spot, you move Jonathan India down a little bit. We can have that conversation about where you think certain guys should hit. But it's kind of hard to argue this. If you wanted MJ Melendez out of the lineup, they did it. If you wanted Hunter Renfroe out of the lineup, they did it. Like, this lineup gives you a chance to score consistently night in, night out.
I think, understanding your question better, those are the best 9 they have on Cinco de Mayo. And you're right, we can argue about, I wouldn't take Indian out of the leadoff spot. I still think he takes the best at-bat or one of the best at-bats on the team. He takes pitches, he walks, he does all the stuff. We can argue about what position he should play. We should argue about what position Massey should play. We can have those conversations. But if you said, Rob, just pick 9 hitters that you think are the best to make the Royals offense go, that's probably the 9. And even then, if we played the Royals random lineup thing in 2028, I think me and you would joke about 7, 8, 9, that lineup isn't exactly gangbusters, but for what they need to do, that is the most optimal lineup this team has this point in time.
Yeah, I just look at it. I'm just looking at it more closely. This just feels very, very balanced to me, especially with the way that Maikel is hitting. Like, if you are kind of looking at it and support for your big four, like your big four are India, Witt Jr., Vinny, and Salvador Perez. To me, you got a little bit of a cushion there, certainly with the way that Maikel Garcia is hitting. He had a great weekend. He's been great the last couple of weeks or so. Michael Massey's normally a little bit up and down, but I think he's been fine. Drew Waters, we gave you the numbers. He's hitting 350 since the win streak. This just feels to me very balanced, and as long as you continue to get your contribution from Vinny and Salvador Perez, and you're getting your role players to kind of fill the role that they've done pretty well, this is a lineup that has turned the corner from where it was 3-4 weeks ago. That was a team that just simply could not score. And I guess to get back to the main point about MJ Melendez, like, you just had too many guys that were building holes in the boat. And as you're taking water, hey, all of you can't come with us. If we're going to get ourselves out of this offensive funk that we're in, we can't keep giving MJ Melendez at-bats and also try to get ourselves out of this. We can't continue to give Hunter Renfroe the amount of everyday at-bats that you were doing. It is crazy how in, 5 weeks of baseball time, at least the team that they thought was their best team, their opening day lineup, that we've now seen them play for a month and a half, that was not your best chance to win. Drew Waters gives you your best chance to win. You could not continue to carry some of the dead weight that you were offensively.
I agree. And I think one thing about the offense is that, and we've talked, Denny says it almost every week on this show. So, and Denny's watched more baseball in his life than most people combined in Kansas City. You can't have the offense relying on just 3 hitters. He was saying it when the offense was good. He said it today. Check the podcast page. He said it when the Royals were heading to opening day. We had him on. He said it when they were in the middle of their drought. He always said you can't rely on 3 hitters. Well, because of Maikel Garcia's emergence, they have another bat to rely on. And when you have 4 or 5 hitters in your lineup, now you feel like guys can be slotted in their roles properly. Fans were going to come down hard on Kyle Isbell's light hitting when, hey, no one's hitting. And it feels like, oh, you're not getting anything out of him either. But now Kyle Isbell's being asked, hey, be a 9 hitter that every once in a while gets a few hits and plays great defense. Like, if the lineup gets a little bit longer, now people kind of can fit into roles better, and it doesn't have everyone has the burden of fixing the offense. As Vinny has improved and Salvi has improved and Bobby has been a freak show and Maikel has been, and Jonathan India is starting to get a little bit better. As those guys kind of get better and hit their roles, now the pressure on Drew Waters is less in the 7 spot. Kyle Isbell isn't, I got to get a big hit here because the offense is scuffling. No, just do what you do best. Freddie Fermin fits in that category too. I think when people have roles is where they thrive.
Let me ask you this question. Let's talk a little bit of football here, and we'll get back to the Royals in just a bit. Do you think the Chiefs are better? Like, if I read you their team that they fielded for the AFC Championship game, maybe you want to pick the Super Bowl. That's fine. Do you think the Chiefs are better? Because they are done, right? Like, there are no more significant moves happening for the Kansas City Chiefs. This is their team for the most part. I don't even really know where they would add a veteran at this point. Maybe they pick up a veteran running back. Like, maybe they go get Nick Chubb, for example, but I don't want Nick Chubb. Are they better than they were? Because in a lot of ways, maybe this is like a bad way of feeling. I feel like they're the same, which is not a bad thing in any way. I mean, that's a team that won 17 games last year, a team that won the AFC and went to the Super Bowl, and maybe having an expectation that the Chiefs were going to be better is a false premise because of how good they were. But, I guess by definition, a team that was not good enough to win the Super Bowl last year and was not close in their game, it is weird to feel like they are the same as last year, but also not feel like that is potentially a bad thing that they are the same team as last year.
So, I do not believe they are better. I don't think they're worse. I think they're the same. But I also think your point, the second point there, I think there was room for improvement, and I don't believe they have. Because at the end of last season, let's just use the end of the season, they were going into the season, they needed a new left tackle. They probably needed a new left guard, or they had to make some decisions at left guard. They had to make some decisions at right guard. They had to make some decisions at running back. Like, that was the offensive, what we have to get done. That was kind of the thought process. And receiver, because those are the decisions they had to make. Looking at the way the Chiefs handled it, I don't know if they got any better. There was room for improvement. There was room. You could have signed and drafted a running back other than Rashard Smith and Elijah Mitchell and Kareem Hunt. You could have improved that room. Jalen, I know they tried. There was reports they were at least trying for Ronnie Stanley, but getting the Niners backup left tackle is not, man, we've made massive improvement. There was room for improvement there. They got worse at left guard. Like, Joe Tooney's great, so now you created a hole. And I like Hollywood Brown. You like Hollywood Brown. Hollywood Brown is exactly what Hollywood Brown is. He is a play 13 to 15 games a season guy. He's going to get you like 500 to 700 yards. There was a chance to add more dynamicism in that room. So I just disagree with the notion that there was very little room for improvement. There was room. They took the path of, we're going to do what we know, and we're going to take what we know better than the wild card of what could be.
But maybe, and I think this is clearly the message that the Chiefs sent this year is, I don't know if the Chiefs built a better roster than they did last year, but I do think there is an expectation of, we're just not going to get hit with the injury bug that we did last year.
And I'll tell you, hey, turn out that's a bad plan to bank on, because football is an inherently physical sport.
You're right, but I would say there aren't too many teams last year that had the amount of success that the Chiefs did that lost their number one running back in the first month of the season, lost their number one and number two wide receiver in the first month of the season, and still had the success that the Chiefs had. So it seems to me like maybe necessarily the Chiefs weren't trying to build this dynamic, drastically improved roster, but they are better now at running back than they were in the Super Bowl, simply because Isaiah Pacheco was not healthy in February. We believe that he is going to be healthy in September for this team. At wide receiver, I mean, I'm looking at their 1, 2, 3 in the Super Bowl. They had Xavier Worthy, Juju Smith-Schuster, and DeAndre Hopkins. DeAndre Hopkins, it is over. Like, DeAndre Hopkins' career as a viable, very productive wide receiver in this league is over. I would argue that it probably is that same way for Juju Smith-Schuster too. So you went into the Super Bowl, and I know that you guys think they lost because of their offensive line. You had a running back who was not productive for the second half of the season. Juju, who now you think could be your fifth receiver, DeAndre Hopkins, who I think is done. That was your offensive skill position players. Now, if you play the Eagles tomorrow, you think you got a healthy version of Isaiah Pacheco. You will see where Rashee Rice is, but you didn't have access to him for, the last 4 months of last year. And you also get Hollywood Brown back, who he got there late, didn't have a normal offseason, didn't have all of those things. So I guess to summarize it is, I don't know if you can argue that the Chiefs are better based on their outside moves. I don't think they really went out and really swung big on a lot of moves. I think they made a lot of smart moves. They are better at cornerback, in my opinion. I think that's maybe the only place you can argue in terms of outside moves that they're better. But I think the Chiefs are betting on the fact of they're going to be better this year offensively simply because they are betting that they are going to be a healthier offense this season than they were last year.
I actually understand and agree with your point about the health. I would just say this about banking on health. Some of the names of the players they are banking on being healthier in 25 than they were in 24 are guys who have a little bit of a track record of getting injured. Isaiah Pacheco, since becoming a full-time starter with the Chiefs, has missed games every season since becoming a full-time starter. Juju Smith-Schuster is, when they signed him out of New England, the thought was, the health is a real problem. Hollywood Brown. There's going to be a time this summer where the text line tells me Hollywood Brown's going to break out. He's not. He's consistently hurt. That is something that happens to him almost every season. The Rashee Rice one, I'll give you, is probably a little bit of a freak injury. It happened on an interception. We'll push him to the side.
I think you could argue that too for Hollywood Brown.
But other injuries in his career have also piled up. It's not the first time he's taken an injury. So, yes, they are relying on health, and they will probably be healthier because they got a bad string of health luck. But it's like the guys they're relying on being healthy are Cal Ripken Jr. out there. They're guys who tend to miss time.
Coming up in just a little bit, we'll get back to the Kansas City Royals. The Royals are back in town with a 4-game series against the White Sox and also a weekend series against the Red Sox. Keep it right here, so Drive.
The Drive with Carrington Harrison on your new home for Royals baseball. 96.5 The Fan. Brought to you by DM Injury Law. Have you or a loved one been in a car wreck? Contact DM Injury Law today and get the money you deserve. Car wreck? Remember, Mike's got this.
Hey, it's Carrington Harrison from The Drive here. Are you feeling tired, maybe a little foggy, or just not like yourself? Well, it could be low T. Symptoms like low energy, poor sleep, and a lack of motivation. They don't have to control your life. And at Heartland Men's Health, they specialize in treating low testosterone and helping men regain their vitality and confidence. With just a simple, quick quiz at heartlandmenshealth.com, you can find out if you're experiencing low T, and then you can book a $100 consultation. They'll run your labs, and within 30 minutes, you'll have your answers. And if you start treatment that day, then the visit is on the house. In just weeks, you'll feel more energy, get better sleep, improve workouts, and have a stronger sex drive. So don't let this hold you back. Pick up the phone. Don't wait. Call 844-447-6600 or visit heartlandmenshealth.com today. Heartland Men's Health has 3 locations to serve you: Overland Park, Independence, and North Kansas City. Reclaim your energy and confidence today.
You could think you found your dream home online, but here's the twist. The lot next door just got rezoned for years of construction. Work with the expertise and ethical training of a Realtor, here to guide and help protect you from the surprises you didn't see coming. Realtors are members of the National Association of Realtors, right by you.
This is the story of the one. As a lineman, he does whatever it takes to keep the power on in his community. And he wants a partner like Grainger who does the same. Grainger offers the professional-grade products he needs, from voltage detectors to harnesses to hard hats, plus fast, dependable delivery, so he can rise to every challenge. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
You could think you found your dream home online, but here's the twist. The lot next door just got rezoned for years of construction. Work with the expertise and ethical training of a Realtor, here to guide and help protect you from the surprises you didn't see coming. Realtors are members of the National Association of Realtors, right by you.
Hey there, Kansas Lottery here. And we want to get together for a game or two. Meet us at your favorite retailer or wherever you like to buy your tickets, and we can let the games begin. There's a lot of fun and cash on the line. See KSLottery.com for details.
Underdog just became one of the best places to make entries during playoff basketball. While they score buckets, you could score cash on Underdog. Underdog is a leading place to make all of your sports selections, and you can play now in your state. Millions of fans have already won billions making plays on Underdog. Will you be next? To play, all you have to do is download the app and choose whether a player will go higher or lower on one of their stats. You can choose from things like points, assists, and so much more. And once your entry feels good, you can play with as little as $1. And if you get everything right, you could win up to 1,000 times your money. I love playing on the Underdog app, and I love combining entries from multiple sports into one selection. So download the Underdog app now, sign up with promo code BOB to unlock a special offer of up to $1,000 in bonus cash when you make your first deposit with promo code BOB. Must be 18 and over and present in a state where Underdog Fantasy operates. Terms apply. Concerned with your play? Call 1-800-GAMBLER or visit www.ncpgambling.org.
At University of Maryland Global Campus, we give our students credit where credit is due. Credit for deciding in the middle of rush hour traffic to go back and get their bachelor's and a promotion. Credit for managing 3 kids, 2 dogs, and a full-time job to pursue an MBA. And credit for serving in the military by day so they can study cybersecurity at night. For over 75 years, we've been helping students receive the credit they deserve. With more than 135 degrees and certificates, students at UMGC can use prior learning or relevant experience to earn up to 90 credits toward a bachelor's, and graduate students can transfer up to 12 credits toward their master's. At UMGC, you'll find everything from online to hybrid courses and lifetime career services to scholarship opportunities, making your education journey flexible, fast, and affordable. Apply now and save with no application fee. Classes start May 14th. Learn more at umgc.edu. Certified to operate in Virginia by Chev.
At CertaPro Painters, we know that a happy place comes in many colors, like ones that inspire a sense of wonder, or a new flavor that makes life just a little bit sweeter, or one to celebrate those moments that lift you to new heights. We can reawaken any space to make your happy place your home. CertaPro Painters. That's painting happy. Each CertaPro Painters business is independently owned and operated. Contractor license and registration information is available at CertaPro.com.
Here's traffic, brought to you by DM Injury Law. Have you or a loved one been in a car wreck? Contact DM Injury Law today and get the money you deserve. Car wreck? Remember, Mike's got this.
Collision eastbound 470 on the Metro Southeast side, right at Douglas. It's on the shoulder, but traffic backed up to Pryor Road there. Also a multi-car crash stopping traffic westbound 435 just past Row, but things are slowing eastbound 435 at Row as well for onlookers. I'm Lori Pearson, 96.5 The Fan Traffic.
This is your home for Kansas City sports. 96.5 The Fan.
We were having the conversation, are the Chiefs better at this point than they were at the end of the season? And I don't know, honestly, to be completely honest with you. I think they're the same in a lot of ways, which I have been really trying to figure out if that is a good or a bad thing for the Chiefs heading into the season. Someone on the text line makes the point. I think O-line is still their biggest concern. Last year, they had 4 knowns and 1 unknown. This year, the Chiefs are heading into the season with 2 unknowns, and both are on Mahomes' blind side. I do think, and to use a Wire analogy, at one point in the show, they have a bad product. And they are trying to figure out how to sell this bad product. And essentially what they do is they just change the packaging of the product. And they just sell it. It's the same. We're just going to call it a new name and put in a different gel cap. I do kind of think that whatever cause for concern that you had about the Chiefs' offensive line heading into the Super Bowl, I don't really know if the Chiefs have done anything to make you feel better about their offensive line. I think they've just rearranged the problem, potentially. Now, we all could end up being wrong about Jalen Moore. That is just not something that we are going to be able to figure out in the early part of May, and we have to wait until the season actually gets going. But I will say, for a team, and maybe you guys believe this, hey, the biggest reason why they lost the Super Bowl was this. It is going to be an offseason of, I don't know if they're any better at their offensive line. In a lot of ways, their offensive line is the same as last year. It's not like it was the last time they lost a Super Bowl where they completely started over and rearranged. they didn't really take the stance of completely starting over. They are going to have largely the same foundation as they did last year, and it really comes down to, is Jalen Moore good? I'm not as concerned about left guard as maybe some other people. I mean, it's on the offensive line, but if you have the answer at left tackle, center, right guard, and right tackle, we can make it work being league average at left guard. We can make it work there. This whole thing really comes down to, are they good enough at left tackle? And we're not really going to have the answer. So we are kind of in the same state of limbo that I would say that we were for most of the second half of the season. Yes, the Chiefs have a plan at left tackle, but I'm not really sure if Jalen Moore at left tackle is better than Joe Thuney was at left tackle. I just don't think we have enough information to say so one way or the other.
I actually think the answer to this question boils down to how you viewed the 2024 season, Because, and Chiefs fans are not wrong to think this, there are two trains of thought when you look at 2024 in hindsight. There is thought A. Hey, the Chiefs were a 17-win team. They clinched the AFC. They didn't have to play their players in the final week of the season. They went to the Super Bowl. Their offensive line had one really bad day, and they got smoked. If you tighten that up, you're still a 17-win team that went all the way to the Super Bowl and was dominant in the AFC. That's one way to view 2024. There's another way to view 2024. They were undefeated in one-score games. That can't sustain. Their point differential was plus 59, which is not bad, but it's not great.
I actually think they're going to be better at point differential this year than they were last year.
It wasn't that of a 15-2. Plus 59 is not that of a 15-2 type of team.
I agree.
The outside metrics would tell you they probably overplayed with their record based on their performances. If you look at those metrics and those stats and you say, regression is coming, you probably are concerned the Chiefs are the exact same. So I think the answer to this question is, are the Chiefs better? The answer is they're the same, but how you view the same comes down to those 2 points of view. Is same, regression is coming because the metrics and the outside noise says this is not sustainable, or you say the same is great because 17 wins in the Super Bowl, if they just get the ball to bounce their way or lock in earlier, maybe they're hoisting a trophy. That's where I think this all boils down to. How do you view the 2024 season?
We'll get back to the Royals coming up at the top of the hour. We're going to hand things off to Vern in about 40 minutes or so as the Royals get ready to kick off their series against the Chicago White Sox. I have a slight NBA thought that couples as an NFL thought. It wasn't that long ago that the NFL was in a little bit of a predicament. The NFL for 10 to 15 years was carried by Tom Brady, Peyton Manning, Ben Roethlisberger, Aaron Rodgers, Drew Brees, the old guard. That old guard, they got old. Tom Brady was in his 40s. Aaron Rodgers is now 40 years old. Drew Brees is retired. Peyton Manning is off doing commercials or Omaha Productions or whatever it is going. And we were all sitting there as people that grew up watching this sport and following this sport, wondering, when is the next quarterback crop going to appear? Well, we got our answer. Patrick Mahomes is a part of that conversation. Lamar Jackson, Josh Allen, Joe Burrow. There are a lot of really good, great young quarterbacks in the league that have pushed the league forward. And now we are creating our own rivalries. We have a new Manning versus Brady. That's Josh Allen against Patrick Mahomes. Jalen Hurts just won a Super Bowl. They're a very unique team with the tush push. Like, we have now started our own new traditions. It is the circle of life. The same thing is happening right now in the NBA. The NBA has been dominated by LeBron, Steph, and KD. KD's team was nowhere near the postseason this year, and I actually think that KD is about to get traded at some point in the next, 90 days or so. LeBron James' team got dominated in the postseason. And their team got dominated by a 23-year-old who looks like he could quite possibly be the best player in the league. Look at all the teams in the NBA that are still alive. They all pretty much have a common theme. Hey, your best player's under 30. That's kind of like how the NFL is right now at quarterback. So when I see some of these teams that are, let's go get Kirk Cousins. Are you not seeing the trend that the league is in? You need to go find yourself a really talented 20-something-year-old quarterback. And if your team's not interested in that, then your team just isn't going to be very good this upcoming season. Your team's not going to be good if Russell Wilson is your starting quarterback. He had his time as a young 20-something. That time is over. I look at the NBA right now, and it is as deep of really talented young 23 to 27-year-olds as I can remember. You got Anthony Edwards. You got Jason Tatum. You got Donovan Mitchell. You got Jalen Brunson. Take your pick. All of Shai Gilgeous-Alexander. Take your pick around the league. It's deep. Those superstars that we're talking about, their time's over. Yes, Steph is still around in the postseason. I think he's about to get eliminated by the new him. Sports always move forward. Aaron Rodgers, your time's over. Peyton Manning, your time was over. Tom, your time was over. It's time to let the young guns have the seat. It's Mahomes' time now to see what he does with the league, and Josh Allen and all these other guys. The same thing is happening currently in the NBA. This is as deep and as talented of 20-something-year-old superstars that the league has had. It is a lot of fun. I would say that kind of like how the NFL is right now. Yes, there is a quarterback divide between the haves and the have-nots, but there's about 12 to 16 teams that have really fun, really different quarterbacks that are really exciting and fun to play, and it took time to accumulate that, kind of like what's happening in the NBA. Coming up on the other side, let's get back to the Royals. Keep it right here. It's The Drive.
The Drive with Carrington Harrison on your new home for K-State Athletics, 96.5 The Fan. Brought to you by DM Injury Law. Have you or a loved one been in a car wreck? Contact DM Injury Law today and get the money you deserve. Car wreck? Remember, Mike's got this. Here's traffic, brought to you by DM Injury Law. Have you or a loved one been in a car wreck? Contact DM Injury Law today and get the money you deserve. Car wreck? Remember, Mike's got this.
A collision eastbound 470 on the Metro Southeast side, right at Douglas. It's on the shoulder, but traffic backed up to Pryor Road there. Also a multi-car crash stopping traffic westbound 435. Just past Row, but things are slowing eastbound 435 at Row as well for onlookers. I'm Lori Pearson, 96.5 The Fan Traffic.
So, your small business is outgrowing your garage. You could go online, find a space, and get catfished. Or you could work with an agent who's a realtor, here to guide and help protect you from the surprises you didn't see coming. Realtors are members of the National Association of Realtors. Right by you.
This is the story of the one. As a lineman, he does whatever it takes to keep the power on in his community. And he wants a partner like Grainger who does the same. Grainger offers the professional-grade products he needs, from voltage detectors to harnesses to hard hats, plus fast, dependable delivery, so he can rise to every challenge. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
So, your small business is outgrowing your garage. You could go online, find a space, and get catfished. Or you could work with an agent who's a realtor, here to guide and help protect you from the surprises you didn't see coming. Realtors are members of the National Association of Realtors. Right by you.
Cosentino's food stores are celebrating 77 years of serving Kansas City. Come in today for incredible anniversary savings across the store. You'll find some of the hottest prices of the year, now through May 20th only. From fresh produce to family favorites, don't miss the unbeatable prices at every Cosentino's location. For 77 years, it's been our family's honor to serve yours, and we're just getting started.
This report is brought to you by O'Reilly Auto Parts, your professional parts people.
Get 5 quarts of Syntec Full Synthetic and a MicroGuard Select Oil Filter for just $32.99 at O'Reilly Auto Parts. In-store only, limit supply.
O'Reilly Auto Parts.
Hi, Drew and Jonathan Scott here, reminding you that a lot of life's firsts are better with help from American Family Insurance. Like your first home expansion or your first big lightning strike. There's a first for everything. Get the right home policy at the right price with the right help from American Family's agents. Life's better when you're under American Family's roof. Insure carefully, dream fearlessly. Get a quote and find an agent at amfam.com.
Products not available in every state. American Family Mutual Insurance Company SI and its operating company 6000 American Parkway, Madison, Wisconsin.
If you're looking for that new career path, have you thought about IT? Think about IT. It's needed in every single industry, whether it's sports, healthcare, construction, manufacturing, you name it, and Centric can help you get there.
No better time in the city either. KC Tech Council has 3,000 IT jobs open in March alone. 3,000. Centric can train you to do one of those jobs.
We've told you about our friend Russ Mondry and his expertise in this field. Over 16 years at Centric. He's going to help you find that career path. So go to Centric.com.
What's up, baseball fans? It's time to swing big on your bets this season. Step up to the plate with an odds boost token from BetMGM, an official sports betting partner of Major League Baseball. No opt-in is required. Just log into your BetMGM account to receive your odds boost token. Then place a bet on any MLB game and activate your token. If your boosted bet hits, you'll score a bigger payout. No matter the showdown, BetMGM is your betting home for baseball. Major League Baseball trademarks used with permission. BetMGM and GameSense remind you to play responsibly. See BetMGM.com for terms. Must be 21 years of age or older. This U.S. promotional offer not available in Mississippi, New York, Nevada, Ontario, or Puerto Rico. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. Available in the U.S. For New York, call 877-8-HOPE-NY or text HOPE-NY 467-369. For Arizona, call 1-800-NEXT-STEP. For Massachusetts, 1-800-327-5050. For Iowa, 1-800-BETS-OFF. For Puerto Rico, 1-800-981-0023. Subject to eligibility requirements. Rewards vary and expire in 1 to 7 days in partnership with Kansas Crossing Casino and Hotel.
Men, here's the truth. In the bedroom, good enough isn't really good enough, is it? This is Jeff for Heartland Men's Health. And if your erectile dysfunction is making intimacy less enjoyable for you and your partner, give us a call today. Because whether your ED only happens sometimes or all the time, it's time to stop good enough and time to start really good. At Heartland Men's Health, we're experts in treating ED. Whether it's only mild or moderate, or even if it's severe, our treatments have success rates of well over 90%. And because we have a variety of treatments and can even combine protocols, we can likely get you performing like you haven't in a long time. You could even last up to an hour or more and make sex great again for you and your partner. So make an appointment and be done with good enough. Your initial visit is just $99 and includes blood work, a medical consult, and if medically advised, a test dose. And if that test dose doesn't work in the office, your visit is free. Call 844-447-6600. That's 844-447-6600. Or go to heartlandmenshealth.com. We have 3 offices to serve you.
At Casey's, we're too nice to say no. So when someone asked for a free frozen drink, we said sure. Then they said every Friday all summer, and well, now we're giving away free medium frozen drinks every Friday. Free frozen Fridays with Casey's Rewards. It's not crazy, it's Casey's. See store for details.
Casey, let's get loud at Big Slick 2025. Enjoy comedy, music, and more at the Big Slick Show on May 31st at T-Mobile Center with all proceeds benefiting Children's Mercy. Tickets are on sale now at bigslickkc.org. Peace and quiet are not invited, but you are.
The technicians you can trust with your house keys. Anthony Plumbing, Heating, Cooling, and Electric.
Getting the job done right the first time protects your home, time, and budget. This month, get $500 off a water softener and filtration combo. Schedule at anthonyphce.com.
Hang out with Cody and Gold. Weekdays starting at 10 on 96.5 The Fan, KFNC FM and AM, HD1 and HD2 Kansas City, in Odyssey Sports Station.
Congratulations on getting through your 9 to 5. Thank you so much for listening. It is The Drive on 96.5 The Fan, 96.5thefan.com, and the Odyssey app. I'm back from the Kentucky Derby. I'll tell you guys about my experience coming up in just a little bit. Rob is here. I am here. We're taking you up till 5:30 today, where we hand things off to the Kansas City Royals. We have had a lot of fun today. If you missed any part of the show, be sure to check out the podcast page. You can do so over on the Odyssey app. So, Rob, let's do this. Let's talk about the Royals, and then hit number 1 we'll make about Justin Tucker, who has been released from the Baltimore Ravens. That is the biggest story outside of Kansas City. Let's start with the Royals. I want to read to you guys a tweet that was from Rainey Jazirli, who I got a lot of respect for, a very, very smart, very knowledgeable Royals fan. He tweeted this on April 19th. For the 19th time in 22 years, the Royals have lost 6 in a row in their first 60 games of the season. In 16 of those 19 years, it happened by game 35. This is an organization that is used to the start that they got off to. This team was 8-14. This offense was scuffling. Morale was low. Now, not everybody jumped off of the bandwagon for the Kansas City Royals. I certainly don't want to make it seem like that. A lot of you held the stance of, it's early, be patient, we're not going to overreact, the schedule is going to lighten up. Some of you overreacted, hey, why didn't they do more this offseason? That's how being a fan is. But the Royals look like they were in a very familiar place. Now, this is where the road starts to split. We have seen plenty of Royals seasons go down the road of they get off to a very bumpy April start and never recover. We do the random lineup all the time. Rob, I'm sure we could pull up years in which the Royals got off to really bumpy starts in 2012 and were just never able to pick themselves up off the mat. I think that this organization and this team deserve a lot of credit for not falling into that trap. I mean, this was a team that essentially lost every game for a week. I mean, a week. Every night, they went out there and lost and didn't score while doing it. It is the most boring thing that you can have is a team that you follow that can't score. It's one thing if they play an exciting, they lose 35, 34. You're like, oh, man. It's one thing to watch a team lose 6-3 night after night after night. That's how the Royals were losing basically for a week. And then seemingly just instantly just popped up out of nowhere. The same team that had lost 8 of 9. That team then turned around to win 11 of their next 13 games. I can't think of too many Royals seasons where the Royals got, it felt like, knocked out. They had lost 3 or 4 to the Detroit Tigers. They had lost 3 straight games to the Yankees, and they've lost multiple series to the Cleveland Guardians. To then turn around and almost instantly, not even a break in between, then become one of the hottest teams in baseball essentially overnight. To now, this team is 19-16. They're 3 games back in their division. They're one of the hottest teams in baseball. And now, look, you got 4 games against the Chicago White Sox coming up, a team that they traditionally beat up on. We could be talking about a team that's 6, 7, 8 games over 500 by the time that this week ends. And we're looking at a team that is right there in the mix of having one of the best records in the American League. They deserve a lot of credit for not panicking as an organization, not doing anything extreme as an organization, staying the course, and getting themselves out of it and coming out on the other side okay. They've done that in a various different ways. They've done that by having a guy like Maikel Garcia be on fire since then. Since that win against the Detroit Tigers, which was on 4/20, he is hitting 400 with a 620 slugging percentage and has been one of the catalysts of your offense. Bobby Witt Jr. had a 20-something game hitting streak. Vinny Pasquantino early in this month is hitting 300. You've got Salvador Perez, who has been an extra base hit machine for the last 2 weeks or so. It's not really that much of a shock as their offense has picked up, and it is now complementing what could be the best complete staff that they've ever had. I know it's early in the season, but if you were talking about the rotation that they have, and we're not even talking about the kid that came up here and almost threw a no-hitter, they don't even have room for him. Noah Cameron would be the #1 Royals story if this story had happened 3 years ago. There's now not room for him in their rotation because it's so deep. But if an injury happens, you feel really good about Noah Cameron coming back and wanting to see if he can get another opportunity. You now pair that with the bullpen that has turned things around and is far more complete than it was last season. This is the team that people thought the Royals could be from the very, very beginning of the season. I don't expect the Royals to have the best offense in the American League. I don't think they have the pieces to have the best offense. All you've asked their offense to do is complement their incredible staff and to give you a chance. That's what they've done for the last couple of weeks. They've also started winning since then, too. I mean, their rotation has been consistent. Their rotation has been. Yesterday, the Orioles scored more runs than they had allowed the entire rest of the week. They have pitched beautifully during this streak. They did that before the streak. The offense has now turned things around. It's the guys that we mentioned. It's Mark Canha. It's getting rid of MJ Melendez. It is limiting your exposure to Hunter Renfroe. All of those things you have now thrown into the pot and given yourself a viable chance to go out there and win. So, Rob, before we get to the hits and some of the other top stories in Kansas City and around the country, I at least want to give the Royals a lot of credit for a team that they didn't look dead to rights, but for a team that definitely looked real wobbly. Looked real wobbly and real shaky. For that team being able to go from 18-14 2 weeks ago to now sitting at 19-16 and winning 11 of their last 13 games.
It is honestly very impressive. And it's made me think, because you talk about how we've talked about in the past on this show how fans are quick to bury the Royals. We actually had a topic in February or maybe March, right around the end of college basketball season. If the Royals are, coming out of the gate slow, will fans be patient or will they bury them? They came out of the gate bad, like not just slow, bad. And I feel like there was a portion of the fan base that buried them. It was, here we go again, same old Royals. I can't believe this is happening again. This, that, and the other. Well, I think this Royals team showed you we're different than those bad Royals teams. We're not like the 2017 Royals that we talked about the random lineup earlier today that started 10-18 and can never come out of the slump. They just were bad that year or mediocre. They weren't like the 2011 Royals or the 2010 Royals. This was the Royals team that we anticipated could win 87, 88, 89 type of game. We thought they could be a playoff type of team in 2025. They came out of the gate and didn't look like it. But over the last 2 weeks, they have reminded you, hey, we are a team that can compete in the AL Central, and we are a team that has playoff expectations. We are done with the bad stretch of baseball. We're getting back to what we do, and I think fans are going to have to adjust because the Royals me and you grew up with, the Mark Quinn Royals, yeah, they get crushed by this stretch. But as long as they have that pitching staff and they have number 7 in the lineup, I don't know that there's going to be a stretch where you go, well, they're dead and gone, no chance, because they will always be competitive, and that is going to be an adjustment for fans and media alike.
Yeah, I just think that things have gotten back in line for the Royals, and now they're one of the teams that's in the mix. That's what they are. They are a team that is back in the mix, and we'll see how it goes. The Tigers have gotten off to a pretty good start. I think early on, it's safe to say that the Guardians have been better than the Kansas City Royals. They've played the Royals twice, home and away. They have won both of those series against the Royals. So for now, you got to prove you're better than Cleveland. They were better than you last year. They've beaten you so far this year. Like, not handing the Royals anything. But I think the Royals are back in line to what I think most of us expected them to be at the very beginning. I don't think they're the best team in the American League. But the Royals have just very rarely been at this place in our lifetime. If you're like me and you're under the age of 40, you know what the Royals have pretty much never been? A team that consistently had a chance to make the postseason. Now, sure, at some point, could we want more for the Royals and want them to be a team that challenges for the World Series? Yeah, I'm with you there. But to use the football analogy, man, there haven't been a lot of 9-8, 10-win teams. There haven't been a lot of 10-6, 10-7. That's not really what the Royals have been. It looks like that's firmly what they are right now, and now we are going to see as the season progresses if they're going to be a team that can go 11-5. Can they go 12? Like now, I think that's where we are. But the Royals just had to realign themselves, and I think it was pretty obvious early on. Man, this rotation, this bullpen is going to give you a chance to win a lot of games, but you're just not going to beat teams consistently in the major leagues if you're just going run, 2 runs, the way that they were doing for basically the first 30 days of the baseball season. We had Spector on the show earlier. He thinks a major spark for this turnaround was the Royals getting rid of MJ Melendez.
All right, guys. MJ Melendez was sent down on Saturday, April 19th. Since then, the Royals have gone 11-3 and have beaten good teams like the Astros, the Rays, the Orioles. They beat the Tigers on that final Sunday to end that horrible road trip. 11-3 since he got sent down. And as someone who doesn't really believe in sports coincidences, I don't think this is a coincidence. One, you're obviously replacing a player in the lineup who was hitting under 100. And then second, when a guy who's been on the roster for the last 3 years is sent down, it does send shockwaves through that through that clubhouse. It makes a difference. Maybe it makes everybody focus in a little bit more, thinking, hey, this could be me next. It gives Drew Waters a little bump in confidence to say, hey, they didn't send me down. I now get to play right field every day. Drew Waters, one of the hottest hitters on the team. I don't think there's any coincidence that MJ Melendez was sent down 2 weeks ago, and the Royals are playing their best baseball of the season, and now 3 games above 500, heading into a really, really important homestand where you get 4 against the White Sox and 3 against Boston.
You know how in basketball there are some players that are ball stoppers? That your team can have like great ball movement, and there's just one guy that when you pass it to him, all of that stops. That's kind of what MJ Melendez was. Now, maybe there is a measure of, hey, guys are on heightened alert. Man, somebody got sent down from this team. Maybe that's the case. I think it's simple. I think they took a clear negative out of their lineup, and they have now turned what was a massive negative into positives. If you look at MJ Melendez, he was hitting 0.85. 0.85. Playing every day, hitting 0.85. We can't do that every day. You're essentially batting a pitcher. That's what you're doing. You have decided that we're going to try to beat you with 8 offensively, and we're going to let this. You can't do that. You have now replaced MJ Melendez. You replace him with Drew Waters, who's hitting 348. He's hitting almost 300 points higher than what MJ Melendez does. So you now see the spark that sends through your lineup. Canna is hitting 263 since then. Maikel Garcia is hitting 400 since this point. I don't know if necessarily anything was sparked by MJ Melendez. I think the Royals got one of the biggest negatives out of their lineup and have instantly turned it into a positive. And that has just changed your lineup. It was hard to kind of string something together if you know that hitting 7th every day, it's MJ Melendez. Hey, we got a guy on 1st and 2nd. Who's due up? MJ. Well, okay. I think it was really hard to overcome that, especially when you didn't have a lot of guys that were flying offensively, and then you got this anchor weighing it down. Now the question for MJ Melendez isn't to talk about the past. It's to look ahead. He's not performing well in the minors either. I mean, MJ Melendez has played 12 games this season down in Omaha. He has 18 strikeouts and 3 walks. He has 1 home run and 4 RBIs in his 51 plate appearances. He's hitting 170 with a 216 on-base percentage and is slugging 300. It's not about the damage that you were doing to the big league club. Now the conversation is, are you going to turn this thing around? It wasn't that long ago that we talked about MJ Melendez in that same grouping with the other young guys. It was Bobby. It was Vinny. It was MJ. We talked about all of them together. Well, Bobby Witt Jr. has gone on to be one of the best baseball players in the world. Vinny is now playing his best baseball since he's played since the wrist injury. Like, there are signs that, hey, we hit 2 for 3. MJ appears to be lost right now. He does not appear to be close. And you would have thought that going down to the minor leagues would have allowed you a chance at a fresh start over. He's simply continuing what he was doing here. It's the same. Striking out a bunch, not getting on base, not getting a lot of extra base hits, not getting on base. There was no room for that for the Kansas City Royals. So I think some of it is schedule driven. Their schedule got easier after this stretch. That's not all of it, but some of it is schedule related. I do think a lot of it is you got some negatives out of your lineup with today. Hunter Renfroe's not playing. MJ Melendez is in Omaha. You got some of the negatives out of your lineups, and the guys that you have gotten to replace them have simply become positives.
I think there is something at play with Speck's point about culture or a shakeup or a shockwave or a jolt or some sort of something in the clubhouse. I agree with you. The largest part why the Royals offense is better with the MJ Melendez thing down is because they're not batting a pitcher anymore. The on the field is the main thing, and I agree with you there. But man, I think there's something. I think there's maybe it's a jolt of accountability, a reminder that winning is the ultimate goal. And even though 2 years ago you guys weren't, that is unacceptable anymore. Whether it's just, showing people that there are no sacred cows, you guys are all part of a larger plan and failure is not there. Whatever you want to say, whatever, buzzwords you want to use, I think there is something to that because I know the schedule lightened up, and the Orioles are not good. But Carrington, they pounded 7 homers yesterday. Like, they had a lot of home runs against Baltimore. When MJ Melendez was in the lineup and they played Baltimore the first time in Kansas City, it was like, the second or third weekend of the season, they were winning games 2-1, 1-0. They were gritty, grindy, we're not really scoring runs, wins. Basically, a new roster without MJ Melendez went to Baltimore yesterday, and they couldn't stop hitting homers. Now, I don't think that's because MJ Melendez isn't in the clubhouse, but I think there has to be some sort of, residual something from the impact it was that he is no longer part of this team.
All right. We got a little bit of time left. I want to tell you quickly my experiences from the Kentucky Derby, and we'll talk about Justin Tucker. Hit the button.
Your workday is over.
Oh, yeah.
You're headed home, and now you're stuck in traffic. Time to get caught up on the biggest stories in Kansas City and around the country with CDOT and Rob. It's time for the hits. Number 1.
Carrington Harrison, the hits are brought to you by Baker University, where graduates earn higher salaries and land jobs faster than any other university in Kansas. Apply today at bakeru.edu. Well, it's half of the day in sports today is a little bit of a surprise as the Ravens have cut their kicker. Justin Tucker is released by the Baltimore Ravens for football decisions, as the team said. 2-part question, Carrington. 1, do you believe it was for football decisions? And do you think we ever see Justin Tucker on an NFL roster ever again?
Well, I think the question you asked is a little difficult to answer straight up because, yes, I do think that Justin Tucker is a diminished kicker, and there are certainly a lot of reasons to fire Justin Tucker for football reasons. You then couple it in with what he is accused of off the field, and it makes it simply a no-brainer that the Ravens were going to move on from their kicker. They also drafted a kicker, so this is something that they have been planning for, to move on from Justin Tucker. They released a statement earlier today. To paraphrase it a little bit, sometimes football decisions are incredibly difficult, and this is one of those instances. Justin has created many significant and unforgettable moments in Ravens history. We are grateful for his many contributions, and we sincerely wish him the best as he moves on in his life. I believe that Justin Tucker is the best kicker that we have ever seen in the NFL. I don't even know if that is as much of an opinion as just based in fact. He has been an all-pro 8 years of his career. He was on the all-decade team. He has the longest field goal in NFL history. He has the highest made percentage of any kicker in NFL history with a minimum of 100 attempts. He is the most accurate and best kicker and best leg we have ever seen in the history of the National Football League. I believe that he was in line to go to the Pro Football Hall of Fame. I think that ended. I don't think he can be considered for that anymore. And if your argument is, yes, other people have done things off the field, you're right. I don't know if you can be a kicker and still get in the Hall of Fame with that. I don't think you can be. I don't think we see Justin Tucker again ever. I don't think another team is picking him up. I don't think he works with I think he is done. Now, I don't know what he's going to do. Maybe he'll go work for Barstool, or he'll go work for Outkick, or he'll go work for some. I don't know what he will do. But I'm telling you right now that the football part of this thing is over for Justin Tucker. You are a 35-year-old kicker who is diminishing, and people think you nasty. You're done with Justin Tucker. So we will see what that means for the Ravens as they are moving in a different direction at kicker. We obviously will see what this means for Justin Tucker as we are trying to figure out what happens with him. Really quick about the Kentucky Derby. Don't have a lot of time. My biggest takeaway is I had never been to a sporting event before. I've been to a lot of games in my life. A lot. I've been to an NBA playoff game, NFL playoff game. I've seen a lot of games. I now understand why people feel the way that they feel about the Masters. It's something different, the way that they treat these sporting events. Everything was A1. I mean, from the moment you walk in there. So we ended up getting like the all-inclusive thing. So it's like for 2 days, all you can eat, all you can drink, whatever. Rob, I'm telling you, from the moment you walk in there, they hand you a program and ask you if you want a drink. Just, you want a mint julep? We got them right here for you. You want whatever you want. You then walk over. They got food everywhere. Just stop. Go up there. Oh, I want a pizza. They'll just give it to you. It's great. It was a little different how they did it. I just didn't know. So I guess maybe to explain in a way that would make sense is it would be like in a baseball game if everybody's section had to like own designated area. So if you sat in 347, you had your own bathroom. You had your own concession stand. Nobody that wasn't in 347 could come over there. Like you have your own area with just these 100 people or so. Oh, it was great. It was everything I wanted it to be. It was number one on my bucket list of a sports thing that I wanted to do, and it lived up to it. I will definitely go back to the Kentucky Derby at some point in my life. It was just 3 days of just sitting around, wearing fancy clothes and drinking and gambling on horses. It was quite the time. I would highly encourage you. If you thought about going to the Derby and you can, I'm telling you right now, you will not regret the decision to attend the Kentucky Derby. And I won. I bet on the winning horse, Sovereignty. All right, we're out of here. Go out to the Royals game one of the days this week. You don't got to go today, but you can get tickets for $3 right now on StubHub. You don't got to go today. It's late. But one of the games this week, I would encourage you to go out. I'm going tomorrow and I'm going on Friday to go watch the Royals. So I would encourage you to do the exact same. We'll be back tomorrow. Take care of yourself. It's The Drive.
The Drive with Carrington Harrison.
This man was a bona fide scrub.
On 96.5 The Fan. Brought to you by DM Injury Law. Have you or a loved one been in a car wreck? Contact DM Injury Law today and get the money you deserve. Car wreck? Remember.